How are we all doing, Skywatchers? Good to see you all tonight. It's another clear one, although it is ruddy hot tonight. So do join us, settle in and buckle up, and we're looking out for a UFO, a UAP in the night sky here, live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a lot of weird and wonderful things in these night skies. Tonight should be no exception. We had some very interesting ones last night, didn't we? So yeah, excited to see what we see tonight, although it is goddamn warm. Anyway, where do we kick off in the chat there? Short Post, you're first in there, Short Folk. Is very warm. Never mind as well. Good to see you there. Trevor's in too. Emilio. And where are we down here? And Baseman, how are you guys doing tonight? Good to see you all. That blue that we are seeing on screen, more of a purple at the second, that is the last bit of daylight that the lens is picking up. And as the sun goes round, we're going to see hopefully more stars, more colour from those stars. Again, more contrast, so be able to see more of these objects. We need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. That would have lost that one, it got too faint. All those one there to see. Can you see it in there? No, it's far too faint, that one, isn't it? We need to see these objects stop dead, shoot off at speed, change course or trajectory for us to know for sure that there is something a little bit more anomalous going on there. Until they do that, we just don't know what those things exactly are. There, Drewski, how are you doing tonight? First in over there. We're all good, never mind, all good. How about you guys? Warm. I say I'm all good. I've got incredible toothaches. You guys have got to do me a job and don't let me stop. Keep up with the questions, then I don't have to think about it. So yeah, guys, do say hello if you're joining us. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight and ask away any questions. There's no silly questions at all. We want to hear from you all there. Maybe it's what we're doing, why we're doing it, or how we're doing it there. But my favourite, if you've had an experience with the phenomena, do share that one whilst we're waiting for the action to happen on screen. But yes, it's UFO, UAP, Skywatch time, right from the heart of crop circle country here in the UK. So just down the road from Stone Henge. But yeah, lots of strange things in these skies. Paul's in, and who had the government siren on their phones earlier? Nearly gave me a heart attack. Paul, I wondered how many people talk about that. I had that as well, and it was as a, yeah, don't set fires, it's really hot at the minute. And I'm thinking to myself, somebody's got a new toy, haven't they? If they keep setting off the emergency alert system for a bloody hosepipe ban, it's different if the fire is on your doorstep, isn't it? Like, we're all going to ignore it, aren't we? And thank you for gifting a membership as well there, so Paul, thank you for that. Universe, how are you doing tonight? Oh, the breeze just came through the window. A little bit of summer evening air, that was lovely. And is it Punch Drunkard, how are you there? I thought the world was coming to an end. Yeah, I did. It was it was the third pack of tights required. That was the a bottom reference. How are you doing, A Up? We're all good here. It's hot there. Did you get the alert? Oh, you're still waiting for it? It's still waiting for it. Yeah, no, it's just us in the south, up, you know, obviously, you know, Bernie as well. Could have been an email or a text. It could have been a text. It could have been a text, yeah. They're starting to use it for things like that. We ain't going to start listening to it, are we? It does make you go there. Drewski as well, coming in with the shares. Appreciate that, guys. It is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that jazz that really does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. The more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. Who got the gifted membership from... oh, where's it gone now? From Paul there. Right, there we go. I can see my screen. How? It was you, How have you been? Good to see you. And yeah, means you'll be able to join us on our next deep dive. I think we're going to be looking at more documents, the MJ12 stuff. If you've heard of MJ12, it's reportedly the secretive group that was set up just after the Second World War there to handle the secrecy, the reverse engineering, and all of that crap around the UFO phenomena. But it's really interesting going through all of these documents that may pertain to just that. It's a little bit washed out tonight, isn't it? Maybe there's a little bit of fog in the air. But yeah, we're doing those deep dives, and they are pretty fun. So I think it's going to be, not obviously Friday today, it's going to be next week there. How are you doing, Carl? Good to see you there. Rio is in too. And Rizzy, where is the UFO now? This is the thing, Rizzy. We've got to look. We've got to pay attention. Carl there coming in with gifts. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream, guys. Help us improve what we're doing. But yeah, this is why it's a hunt. We have to pay attention. We have to monitor these things. The tracker is a good guide to see where the movement is starting, but it's not holding them tonight. So don't rely on it. We need to follow these objects with our eye. Okay, it's a bit faint there, but we'll try and zoom in. We need to see it stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory to know for sure that it is anomalous. It does happen. Last night we had 2 anomalies, and one of them we'd never seen before. Really interesting. So hopefully tonight is going to be playing that game with us as well. Carl coming in with the extra gift there. Massive appreciation. And guys, you said we are literally that close now, that close to having all of the stuff we need to be able to do them more on location live. So yeah, we are that close, which is really, really exciting because it makes everything much more available to us. We'll be able to do our Stone Henge, our live Skywatch from Stone Henge, once we've got that stuff there. But yeah, we want to kick off our tour, don't we, with Rendlesham Forest. So very excited and also terrified at the idea of that there. And nope, my mum had it, and she's around the corner. Oh, so you got it up there, but you didn't. You specifically didn't there. Herself on the motorway on the phone. Yeah, because it's a long message as well. So it's not, you know, if you're trying to read it whilst you're driving, going, wait a minute, do I need to pull over and like call my loved ones? Yeah, somebody's going to get a bit of a slap for that. I wonder if they just wanted to test it.
Zoom mode activated.
There you go. This is a nice bright one. Lots of objects like this tonight. Oh, look, the dynamic tracking dot's doing its job, isn't it? Look, so you can still see the thing. We're going to see lots of these tonight, and we need to see it. Say, stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory, because that tells us for sure it is something highly, highly strange there. And Mars, how are you doing tonight there? And Vicky's in from West Yorkshire, checking in. May I ask? Oh, my name, yeah, actually is Sam. It's all right. I'm not important. It's fine. But I'm Sam. Good to see you in there. And Sol, good evening from Ireland. Good to have you in. How are your skies tonight there? And new to the channel there. What a brilliant idea. And have you caught anything unknown? Thank you, Punch. That's very, very kind. Honestly, though, I can't take any credit. It's the nature that puts on the show, and it's you guys that come in with all of the awesome like experiences that you share and all of your good questions and your knowledge and things like that. So yeah, we have. There are degrees of what we've seen. So you've got the with the class 3s, which is there is no explanation for this. The movement that we're seeing, the altitudes, etc. There is no man-made organic explanation. It's the full-on UFO category there. And Vicky coming in, feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you for that. Yeah, so it's that category. And we've seen a handful of those, 4 or 5, over our year or so of doing it. Then you've got the middle ground. And we had 2 of these, class 2s, last night. And yeah, you go... Okay, it's not necessarily displaying the anomalous movements, we can say 100%, but in the year of doing it, we've never seen anything like it. We've seen all of the variations on weather, seasonal conditions, all of that sort of jazz. But, yeah, just like last night, I've never seen those ones before. So we get them, then you get some ones that go, oh, that's interesting, but it doesn't really give us any information to say otherwise. So keep paying attention, we will spot it there. And Panicking Skywalker, that's pretty good there. I like that one, Panicking. Crossroads. Crossy Road, you mean, not the game. And it will be a smoke, Sam, from the fires burning around you after shooting all the up. Yeah, well, that was the thing. I wouldn't mind if there was one on our doorstep and it's like, you know, close your windows or whatever it is, but not just don't set a fire in the woods. Like, yeah, obviously, lads, so Smokey Bear's got his phone out. And is it Torben as well there, new here, watching from Norway, and just up, thank you there, Torben, as well. What gear do you use to stream this kind of watching thing? So, good question. So, we're using basically a very good modern digital camera. The trick is the low light lens. You need to have a lens that's letting in a lot of light. What we're seeing tonight is about 2.5 times what the human eye can see. And actually, this isn't as clear. There must be some stuff in the higher atmosphere that's kind of getting in the way, because it's a little bit foggy around here, and it's normally much clearer than that. Might have to change some of the settings on here, just lower it down. No, see, although it looks, you miss a lot of the fainter ones, so I'm going to have to keep it up there. But anyway, yeah, so basically that's what it is, and it's a live feed coming in. Oh, I've broken the tracker because it didn't know what to do with the brightness there. It's given it, it's frozen it. Trying to process that change. Let me just restart that one, guys, sorry. But yeah, so camera coming in, low light lens. It's quite easy. We're building the software ourselves, which is, you know, trying to... oh my god! The whole browser's having a sulk now. I can't even restart the page. Hold on. So we're building the software ourselves, and hence we get issues like this. That is really... It's my computer's running a bit warm, but it shouldn't be that. Anyway, oh, there we go. Add a bit of salt. Now it should be a little bit better there. Sorry for the flash, guys. Let me just turn those ones on, and right. It will still break later on, but hey-ho. Anything in your skies there, Torben, from Norway? Lots we hear about activities over your way. Have you ever seen anything yourself there? And Mars, have they got the heath fires in the New Forest under control? You know what, I don't know, but I bloody well hope so. Lots of places. Actually, there was one not too far from us. The next town over, they were having some issues there. And because you're the catering wagon for the trip. Well, you got a catering wagon there, your security. What other jobs can we give you there for that? Does the catering wagon tickers come out for when we're doing the local ones as well? Like, you know, because that's what I've been thinking. And Stu there as well. Good to see you in there. And welcome, is it Luis? Luis there from, welcome, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Where are you joining us from tonight? Stu is in there, and Sanchez there. My nan was abducted in Swindon by aliens or by something else there. And apparently it's down to how close you are to a mast there. So all the campers will be... Really? So you might be out of range and not get one of those alert signals. Interesting. I barely get phone signal here, so I'm surprised I got that one there. And nice to meet you, Vicky, as well. And Average as well. How are you doing there? The alert made me jump there. I was enjoying your nap. It made me jump, and then, but it's for essentially And a hosepipe ban is what they were saying. Have you worked out the initials yet? I'll give you a clue. Snap. What was that? Hold on, what's the first part? Let me... No, I can't get an SNAP. What's going to be that? Oh, no, my brain, it's not going. It's too hot tonight, and I've got a toothache. Oh, thank you, Tig. It's very, very kind. But it's everybody. It's all the awesome community there keeping me going and coming in with the knowledge. And don't forget to smash the like and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Do appreciate that if you do choose to give us a like. The shares, the tapping away. That is how we meet you all. That is how the algorithms know that other people might be interested. You never know who is going to come in and what experience with the phenomena that they are going to share. And it's my favourite thing. The thing that actually changed my opinion or understanding the most of what might be going on is hearing your first-hand accounts with the old phenomena directly. Even more so than the sightings we've got there. And Naomi there, hi, did you work out what these strange space worms were last night? No, Naomi, no, that is one of the ones that's going to sit with me for a while. It's going to sit with me for a while. I don't know if we've got information to actually, enough information to kind of get a definite out of it, but I've never seen anything like that. And you've got to remember, the ones that we're tracking at the minute, these dots, these objects here, these are up in just outside of Earth's atmosphere. They're reflecting the sunlight back down because they're higher enough up to get that connection. So anything that's within the atmosphere isn't going to be able to reflect that light. So it's only going to have whatever the ambient, the moonlight, whatever it is at night. And that's why the space worms, you know, when they're birds and things, they're not very bright. We kind of see them, but they're quite dark. Same with this. So that tells us that was a lot closer within the atmosphere. And what makes me find it really interesting is there's no strobes. Even the unmarked military craft, they have the strobes on around here over the civilian areas. So it wasn't them, but it was very mechanically straight there. So it's something in orbit, not emitting any light. It was very strange. The alert got you there. It was just chilling there, checking a paranormal video, and it went off. It did for me. I was just like, oh, nearly spat my drink out for a second there. Not Leanne, though. And waiting for the national emergency broadcast that KFC have run out of chicken again. Now, that is warranted. That is warranted. How you doing, Harko? Good to see you there. Terry as well. Good to see you in tonight. Drewski coming in with the gifts. Thank you for that. All goes back into the stream, helping us improve what we're doing. If you are just joining us tonight, guys, we're doing our live UFO, a UAP, a Skywatch. And we're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So lots of strange stuff in the skies. Only last night did we have some anomalous ones, some class 2s. Very, very interesting. So I'm hoping that tonight is going to be just as good. It normally is, if we normally go into like a runner thing. So I'm feeling very, very positive about that. So keep your eyes on all these moving objects. We're looking for anomalous movement there. Things to move in ways that man-made objects just can't. They're stopping dead, shooting off a speed, changing their course or trajectory. Do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from in the chat and ask away any questions. There's nothing, no silly questions here at all. We want to hear from you all there. X, how are you doing? Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that. And my skies are a high wire high here almost every night. Really, I've heard very, very similar things over your way. That is interesting. What is the best thing you've seen? Oh, we want to hear about that. Describe it there. It had 2 updates this week, buddy. You know what else had an update, X? I give up with TikTok. But do you know what else? There's a platform anyway. It's a bloody pain. But bloody computer typically wanted to do a forced freaking update. Windows, hate it. And then turn it back on just before the stream. Lost all of the sound devices. Didn't know. Couldn't hear any sound. Freaking thing, an unnecessary update that breaks everything there. And out there is that pixel next to Vega that wasn't there before. Oh, so we've got that is the red pixel, but normally Vega's higher in the sky. So I think there is normally one around there. Yeah, these are normally the 3, and sometimes we can see a faint one around there. Still very, very active tonight. Maybe I'm going to crank up the brightness a touch more. Is that going to break the tracker? Let's see how it goes. And talk about it there. There's a lot of activity above Norway at the moment. So you feel like it is raising up, because generally it does feel like there is a lot more activity going on. And I can't decide in myself, is it that we're so much more connected with the internet, with phones, with like platforms exactly like this? They're all hanging out here together. So we're seeing more of the phenomena that's always been going on. Or is there an actual uptick in activity? And the alert scared me there. I almost changed the light bulb from green to orange. I couldn't change it to red. It involved changing the bulb. I really need to stay awake there. I keep missing the good stuff. Oh, it was some good ones last night, I tell you there. But sometimes, you know, especially with all the stuff you've got on at the second there, you got to listen to your body first there. Did I get it right, Vicky? And Sophia there, what is the blue thing? Is that the moon? Really, really good question, Sophia. So this big bright one is kind of blue. Normally comes through purple, so I think we're getting a little bit of atmospheric interaction tonight. But this is Vega. Now that is a star like our sun, but 26 light years away from us there. So it's not too far in space terms, but you wouldn't want to walk it. It's a beautiful big bright star there. Different type to our sun. burns different things, but it's also 300 times the size. It is massive. It is massive. You can't really see it, but this one over here, this is normally quite blue as well, but it's a bit early in the night. This is Deneb. This is 2,600 light years away. So if that's 26, that's 2,600. It is crazy, these distances there. BT, there's a meteor. You know what? I missed it, but we have had some amazing ones. Last night we were on, and yeah, we saw, I mean, we're on during the peak, which was Wednesday, and yeah, Thursday night we actually saw more, I think, during the Thursday. So hopefully we're still going to get a few stragglers tonight as well. Keep your eyes on the screen there. The shooting stars are really, really awesome to see as well there. And Andy, how are you doing? Good to see you, Nandruski. Can I ask your opinion on why NASA has a patent for a sun-like light source? Interesting, as in like sunlight, as in it produces UV waves, or you know, that sort of light spectrum, or is it that it's like a mini sun, like a fusion reactor or something? NASA does a lot of general science stuff. It is very interesting, you know, the areas they do get a bit curious in, but some of the stuff, it does make you wonder, doesn't it there? And True Cow, how are you doing there? And can I ask what the tracking software you use is called? It's called Piece of Crap. We're building it ourselves, so it doesn't actually have a name at the minute. We jokingly call it the RAF 5000 after one of our mods who absolutely loves this tracking software. But yeah, no, so we're building it ourselves at the minute. Once it's available, or once it's stable, I should say, then we will probably make it available. We make all of our other tools available to people on our website. So if you want to join our Discord, you'll get those notifications when it does become available. The link in the bio there. And that goes to anybody that wants to hang out, because, yeah, you're all welcome over there. And lots of people are sharing their first-hand accounts with the old phenomena there. Caroline, welcome aboard there. And Sophia, too. Thank you, guys, for the follows. Where are we in from tonight? Lethal coming in with the shares. Appreciate that, guys. It is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that stuff there that does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves, and the more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. But yeah, make sure you share, you're following or subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we're on pretty much every night. Clear Skies is this. It's the UFO UAP Skywatch, right from the heart of crop circle country here in the UK. Cloudy nights, we're doing an alien radio signal hunt, and all this weather, we haven't had a chance to do one in ages, but it's like the film Contact. We're listening out on the hydrogen line, hoping to hear ET say hello on the channel on the dial where scientists think we almost like to hear them. And if the moon's up full, it looks like that, and we see some really awesome things as well there. We need to do one of them soon. And can satellites move fast? Nikki, good question. Yes, though the speeds are insane. So like anything in orbit the Earth is technically a satellite. So the moon is a natural satellite there for us. But our communication satellites and things like that, they move very fast. So the International Space Station, for example, is about 17,500 miles an hour. It is crazy. And what they're doing is they're falling to Earth, but in a big circle, because the nature of the gravity up there. It is really crazy to think about how fast it all is there. Well, nearly every evening we have a swarm of 10 to 12 objects in formation. They are very faint and they are very high up there at extreme speeds, and mostly a diamond formation. Oh, if we could see that, that would be absolutely amazing. Oh, that would be really cool. So the diamond formation is interesting because obviously natural objects do not form diamond patterns, do they? There, but the other part is that, you know, scientists did look into warp drives and wormholes, and they went, doesn't break physics. You could do that. That probably the best way that an advanced civilization could traverse these distances is by bending time and space, getting past the speed limit of the universe there. The only reason that it's not something we can test is because we don't have the energy required to do it. It takes a hell of a lot. So maybe that's what they figured out, and that's what they're doing. But bringing this back to that, so if you wanted to, you had craft with this warp drive, you could amplify the effects of it by having them in certain formations, multiple craft in formation, so diamond and triangle formations. So that is very interesting. You're saying that it's that there. And Bournemouth there, good to have you in. And Lethal, it's all right. We'll forgive you. Have you been having a good day? And my opinion, coming in with gifts. Thank you for that. So it all goes back into the stream. I've tried with an 800mm lens and a 52 MPM camera to catch it on image and video, but it moves away so fast to even get a focus on it. That is, yeah. Well, how about think the other way around, Torben? Maybe go for a really low light lens. So hopefully they're high enough up that, you know, you'll might be able to see it clearer there. Yeah, you still want it to be quite fast, but maybe like a wide field to just get the formation recorded as the first rather than zooming in, because that could still be a cool shot there. And Rodney, it sure is big out there. It really is. Like, I can't get my head around it. You can see all the animations, you can see the videos, you can talk about the numbers. I know what a billion is, I know what a light year is, I know what a million light years is, but it doesn't, I can't really feel it, you know? It's like when they're, you know, you're going to the, I don't know, the Apple shop or somewhere bloody expensive, and they go, this laptop is you know, £2,000, and you go, oh, that's expensive. And they go, this one's 2,500. You go, that's expensive. Well, this one's 3,000. Whatever it is, you go, it's just at a point, it's just expensive, you know, and you lose the emotional connection. Too much is too much. I think space is kind of like that as well. I love that question there, True Kel. And been seeing lights flying by for the last week over Bournemouth Beach. Oh, over the beach. Oh, what were the lights? What the colour are they? What sort of size? I want to hear all about that. Thank you for sharing that. That is my favourite bit about doing this stream, is hearing all of your accounts, just how much is going on, how often, and just the range of it as well. That blew my mind. I thought these strange events were much, much, much rarer. But no, there's a hell of a lot going on, a hell of a lot of the time. It's a solar simulators. Ah, wow, that is, okay, that is interesting. Drew's going to have to look a bit more into that one, because that's a bit sus. And Amelia there, is the temperature in the room bearable? I've got the window open, and I've got a headache. I need to remember to drink. But I've also got a cracking toothache, so it's a bit of a balance at the minute tonight. So that's distracting me from the dehydration. I've got the case off of the side of the computer and a fan blowing directly into it, so I'm hoping it's going to minimise some of the issues. But I need another one here for the computer that runs the tracker, because I think that's half the problem there. How are you, Lethal, there over on that one too? Denise as well, how are we there? Rodney, got yourself some inches cider, lovely. Have a sit down, put your feet up, watch the skies. And how do you tell the difference from satellites and UAPs? Really good question there. It's hard, is the question. So we can only say when somebody is, or something is doing something anomalous enough. So there's going to be a lot of times up there where a satellite and a UFO, in fact most of the time, they're going to look very, very similar. There's not much to avoid up there, so a UFO isn't going to be wandering all over the shop. So yeah, we just won't know in those cases. But, oh god, my tooth is going tonight. But its behaviour is going to be the key for us there. So if we do see this object stop dead, shoot for speed, change course or trajectory, that is definitely 100% anomalous there. You know, man-made stuff does not work like that at those sort of altitudes. So that is why we've got the tracker on. It's a bit crap at the minute. I think it's the heat is doing it in. But they're meant to follow them and see if they're going in straight lines, basically. And that is when we know we have something strange for sure. And Omni, coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Omni. It's very, very kind of you there. Massive appreciation. We really do appreciate you there for that. That's very kind. So it all goes back into the stream, help us improve what we're doing. And I said, you guys, we are so close now, like ridiculously close. So it's going to happen pretty quick to have all the kit that we need to do the on-location stuff a lot more often, but everywhere, including places with no signal. So yeah, that is going to happen imminently soon. So very excited for that one. And Omni, thank you for helping us out with that one. Massive appreciation there. Where are we down there? But that's a really good question, Dev. It is a really good question. It's hard. So yeah, but there's going to be a lot of cases where we're just gonna not know. ET's going to fly across the screen. It's going to look exactly like a satellite to us, and we aren't going to be able to say otherwise. Now, even if they don't, as we say, it doesn't mean that they're not anomalous, because most of the time ET's probably going to look very similar. It just means statistically it's most likely going to be a man-made satellite with so many of them up there. So what looks like a moving star is actually satellites. Basically, Nikki, yeah, basically these are objects in orbit, and they are reflecting that sun's light back down to us. So if I get my little prop, obviously this is a UFO, but see how it reflects the light when it gets to that certain point. So what's happening is where these things are orbiting around, they've actually got a direct line of sight to the sun, and we're able to see them at certain times of year, more or less, you know. Oh, that was a space worm. That's probably a bug, basically, close to the screen there. But yeah, that is what is happening. So all we're really seeing, guys, is light. When you're talking about these distances, you know, actually our technology is quite limited as a species. I mean, look at the light here from Vega. We're not able to see much detail at all. We're just getting, you know, a little bit of light, a couple of pixels on the screen. It's amazing what they can do with the big telescopes, what data they can get from that. But even with the really big ones, it doesn't visually look much more than that. It's quite limited information coming through there. Bad news for September. Heatwaves likely to continue. Oh my God, I was just having this conversation today ago. We're not going to be lucky enough, are we, for them to for it to actually cool down into September. Jesus Christ. Vicky, yet to see Starlink. Was you not on last night? I think we had a Starlink train come over. I think we had a Starlink train. I think it was last night. It might have been the night before, but I feel it was last night. So many in a row. Awesome to see. Statistically, though, most of these are going to be Starlink, because Starlink is just the largest number of objects up there. The chances are that either which one of these is probably, like this one, is probably a Starlink satellite flying around, bouncing that light back down to us there. And Kiki, welcome aboard. Where are you joining us from tonight? What are we going to power it with? Oh, it's Trevor. Is this the on-location stuff? So luckily, most of the individual bits of kit actually have inbuilt batteries in them. Surprisingly, very, very good ones. So it's the Starlink dish itself is the main problem with that. You need like an external power bank. But they do batteries that kind of clip onto them. So that was the bit that I hadn't expected, which I now need to figure out how to do because they're almost as expensive as the bloody dish itself. But most of the rig, I was surprised. Our rig can go with, not including the Starlink, what we've already got that's very, very portable now. We'll do about 5 hours. So I was very, very surprised with that one. So if we can get the Starlink close, then, you know, we could possibly do some really long ones there. But having that Starlink being able to connect to the internet essentially wherever we are, I mean, we could even do stuff in the water at sea. You know, we could do a USO watch. It's very, very flexible there. Doddle, how are you doing tonight? Debstat is in too. Good to see you there, Marcus. And Logan as well. UFOs aren't real and neither are aliens unless it's a microorganism there. Logan. So, like, I can play about with that one. Definitely, well, UFOs are the category of unidentified. There are definitely things up there, and it's recognised by multiple governments that there are very strange things, that they don't look or are not likely to be super advanced technology from somebody else, not unknown weather phenomena, although being unknown, you know, that is the thing. So there is this category of some strange things that really are outliers, and we do need to look into. It's well recorded. There's a lot of evidence for that. Now, are they little green men coming from other planets? I haven't personally experienced that one. I think there's a little bit of there's a lot of evidence around there for it, but I haven't experienced that myself. So that, I think, is reasonable skepticism to be like, oh, I don't think, you know, maybe they can't traverse these distances. But there definitely is a lot of things that are unknown, well outside of normal explanation for those things. But alien life is going to be absolutely abundant. So this is the thing. A lot of opinions like that, including from a lot of mainstream science, it was based on the fact that we didn't know that all of these other stars out here, if any of them had other planets. And it's only recent technology now that we can start to look. And when we're looking, most of them have got other planets. So that just, it's a numbers game. Life is going to be out there. And if life is that abundant, is it going to be more complex? Is it going to be more advanced? Again, it's a numbers game. You know, it's unlikely that it's going to be a civilization like us necessarily across each star system, but there probably are lots and lots out there, and especially the time of the universe, plenty of time for advanced civilizations. So there is definitely a lot of life potential, even with our own solar system. We just have this bias because of how science works, which is from the known, and that's wonderful. But it doesn't mean that there isn't evidence out there, especially if you look at our technology and you go, we wouldn't know. We are only just about getting the technology to be able to detect some things. And we get a lot of anomalies in the data as well. There are a lot of, you know, oh, we've never heard an alien radio signal. Where are they? We've heard a lot of anomalous signals, but we don't have the technology to confirm 100% that it's alien. So nobody will say it isn't. Again, they shouldn't say without the confirmation. But it's not that the evidence isn't there. It's that our technology can't confirm it yet. So it's a bit of a bias that goes around with that one. Bradsky, how are you doing there? And very engaging. Oh, thank you, Kiki. That's very, very kind of you there. Where are you joining us from? Where in the world? Although Alan is the real star of the show.
It's me, Alan, the real star of the show.
Thank you, Alan. Where's Kate and videos too? I don't know, actually. Kate's probably had a busy day there. And do you know the difference between satellites? So as in the difference between potential UFOs and satellites, or within the satellites themselves? Because, God, there's some differences out there. We see it now. We see different brightnesses, different colours coming from them. Some of them are rotating, causing flashing patterns and all stuff like that. There is such a variation out there now. But, yeah, for us to identify the potentially anomalous, the UFOs, UAP, all that sort of stuff, from the man-made satellites there, it's very, very difficult. We have to look out for that movement. We need to see these objects that we're watching stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory, because man-made objects and even, you know, the organic stuff that's in orbit, they're falling to Earth in a circle. It looks to us like a straight line from down here at a consistent speed. So if we see variations, then that we know we've got something much more interesting there. Paul, how are we doing? We're all good here. I'm nursing a massive toothache though, so you have to forgive me tonight. If it's not the heat, it's summit. There's like 16,000 satellites up there. I read the internet there, and 80% of them do not look towards Earth. So I wonder what they're for. Oh, Torben. So that 16,000 sounds about right for them at the minute. But most of them, I think, well, 11,000 now are Starlink, and Starlink does point to Earth because it's a ground to space internet connection, which is what we're getting or hoping, you know, getting to very soon. So most of those do, but yeah, they're mostly Earthbound. But you do have, like, you know, your Hubble and all that sort of stuff, which are pointed up there to space. There's a little Hubble one there for you. last night and the night before started. Was it 2 nights we saw it then? I definitely remember the long one because it just kept going, didn't it? It kept on on going. I was like getting a bit bored by the end of it, which is surprising to say there. But anyways, I'm going on holiday in September. Hey, there we go. Perfect timing for that. Neil as well. How are we doing? Shildon. What's Shildon for? Oi as well. Matty is in. It's cooling down from Sunday for a few days. Yeah, and apparently it's getting bloody hot again afterwards there. And Paul, I can't do with this heat wave until September there. It won't be Great Fire of London. Honestly, it's the Great Fire of Britain. Yeah, it's doing me in. That's what set my tooth off. I didn't know, guys, but you know, teeth, if you have bad teeth, it can be your circulation, which is me all over. So in the heat, it's even worse. And my teeth hurt. I'm just going to take them all out. I'm going to be gummy for it there. Lethal coming in with a gift. Sorry for that. Rio and Oi. Appreciate those guys. It all goes back into the stream. Help us improve what we're doing. And, Marcus put in a treasure box. Hope you guys thank Marcus for the coins there. And I have a little clip of a flashing triangular craft I filmed last year over Greater Manchester. And I can send it if so. Oh, 100% Punch. 100%. That sounds very, very interesting. So, the best place that we've got for that is our Discord. We've got a personal experiences section where a lot of you guys are sharing your first-hand accounts with the phenomena, with images and videos there. So that would be a great place to put it, because then everybody, even if they're not in on the stream tonight, they'll all be able to have a look at that, and it won't just disappear after the stream. But if you've got it on YouTube, put the link in. Yeah, we'd love to see that one. Oh, thank you, Marcus, for that. And true. Oh, what was that flash? Good question. I did see 1 or 2 flash, but those objects up there, they can appear to flash. I mean, again, they're not emitting light, but they are reflecting it. So when they're tumbling, one of 2 things normally happens. So again, we're not saying that it's not necessarily anomalous, but whatever that object is up there, see how as this arcs around, it gets brighter and then fades, so it comes here, just there we go, look, you get the flash. So sometimes, you know, our position relative to the sun versus them, just that perfect alignment sometimes on screen, it brightens up. Or see, so you go flash, no flash, because it's thin, it's not reflecting, flash, no flash. So some of these objects will do that, and they'll give you a nice repetitive flashing pattern there as well. Be free, was it good spotting? The interactive grid should be working tonight, guys. So if you do spot something, and obviously I'm behind the chat, so it does take me a while to get there sometimes. But if you do spot something, if you type in A2, for example, it should highlight that square, and then I can go, oh, and have a look and zoom in on the anomalous stuff there. You might, if it's moving, probably best to predict the square you think it's going to be in next, and then with the lag, it aligns up there. And Andy as well, coming in, feeding Alan.
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
for that one. And just because people can't see aliens or UFOs, does not mean they're not there. Exactly, Agent X. That is the thing. We tend to mistake the absence of evidence for the evidence as we take as the absence of evidence for evidence of absence. Oh my God, took a while to get that one out, didn't it? And they are not the same thing. Fourth Dropper Files have shown more UFOs all over the world. They did. Again, not like massively, you know, loads of them, but there are each drop something I find slightly more interesting. You know, there's, oh, I've not seen this version before. So I don't think they're useless at all. I think it's that slow burn, the building things up, which is a bit frustrating for us because obviously we're ready for the Roswell bodies. Come on, guys, we want to see those pictures. But the rest of the world aren't. We've got to kind of slowly ease people into it there. And when talking about aliens, who says they are out there? Our seas are not explored at all, and there could be species living in deep water areas. Well, this is a very, very good point. Wasn't it only like last year or something that they got the first images of the like the big squids, the super, what do they call them? You know, the big squids, basically. Something that, you know, sailors had been talking about for years. Oh no, it's just a urban legend, and they actually eventually got one there, because it turns out that deep sea creatures don't like light, even infrared light, and all of the old ROVs and the underwater stuff, to use their cameras, needs light. So they either project a light or an infrared light, so they can see down there. Well, when that comes on, all the sea creatures bugger off. So like, no wonder they've not seen anything. The seas are going to be alive. Their seas are going to be alive. But again, with the phenomena, it doesn't have to be just one thing. This is a very, very strange phenomena. Good use of the grid, guys. Yeah, that one hasn't been tracked. Good spot in there. And one coming in from the top. So I think there's going to be multiple answers to this. Multiple. If there's one species, there's going to be many. If there's, you know, if there's the extraterrestrials, then there's probably going to be the old time angle or the dimensional there. And A-Up coming in, feeding Alan.
Thanks,
thank you, A-Up. You sent me some videos. Excellent. I'll check those ones out. Was it on the talks? I haven't checked my messages there yet. And to be honest, it's probably going to be a while with this toothache. I'm just curled up in a ball during the day. And do they ever crash into each other? Really good question. They're really worried. I think it has happened once or twice, but it was less populated up there. Now there's so many, there's a real risk that one hits another, and then that breaks into 1,000 pieces. And because they're all falling so fast, it's like speeding bullets, 1,000 individual bullets just going everywhere. And then they hit another couple who break into more and more pieces, and this snowball effect of all the satellites just wiping each other out. They call it Kessler syndrome, and they're really, really worried about that. And because it would basically mean that we couldn't get up into space, we couldn't put more satellites up there for between 10 and 100 years. I don't quite know. It would be bad news for us all, so they're very worried about that one. And Lilac, how are you tonight? Most are communication satellites, Starlink and similar. Their antennas point to Earth there to serve the users on the ground station. Yeah, exactly. And how are we doing? El Cid? I'm just going to call you Barrett, because every day I go, why am I doing that? I'm going to call you Barrett there. Greetings, how are you tonight? And a bugle there, that upset my chilling drink there, the gaming session, and receiving an emergency UK government flash message. Exactly, that was, the message amounted to, it's a hosepipe ban. It's like, come on lads, unless there was a fire and you're saying, look, close your windows, get out of the way, that's fine, but not, try not to set fires outside, guys, a national emergency. Sod off. People are going to ignore it. And most people got the alert on their for the wildfires. You didn't know. A-Up didn't either. And Jedi, how are we doing there? And the green and the chat, good to see you. Where are we? Down here as well. And Amanda's in as well. Captain, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you there, Blue Nose. Where are we? Good use of the grid there, Jedi. And Adam too. UFO undersea in the North Sea, and it's been investigated on YouTube. That's not the oh my god, it's too hot and I'm in too much pain to remember. What is it called? There's the thing in I don't think, is it the North Sea? Excuse me, it's near there, isn't it? You know, it looks like the Millennium Falcon that's crashed underwater. Or is that, no, it's the Baltic Sea, sorry, not the North Sea, yeah, the Baltic Sea anomaly, that's it. But yeah, we read, didn't we, on one of our deep dives, a whistleblower that claimed to like work with UFO stuff, but it was all about underwater UFO bases, like big UFO bases that make the little ones that we see. And at first glance, I was like, oh, you're pulling my leg, lads, come on, that's a bit futuristic anyway. Read it, I went, actually, that makes a lot of sense to me. But they said, I think North Sea, Atlantic and the Pacific as well, they had these bases. And Elliot there, I was taking pictures of the stars and I took a picture of a weird object. Oh, Elliot, describe it, we want to hear that. I was on Alchemy podcast too. Oh, I don't know, there's another one today that I haven't seen yet. So was it a new one? And Trevor, according to all of the ancient people around the world there, we came from a planet other than here. That a lot of them do say these very, very, very similar stories. And they might not be 100% accurate. Things happen over time, don't they? But there's a fire to that smoke, I think. There could be something to it. At the very least, I am pretty convinced that life itself did not start here on Earth. I think, you know, the way life is spread around, you know, our planet, our seeds get caught in the wind, I think that is very, very true. And scientists, you know, it's a very strong theory, panspermia. At the very least, Mars, I think, for us there. But probably life itself is, you know, throughout the universe is probably very linked there. My daughter's wisdom teeth are playing up too there. She's having them out when she gets back to the States. Oh, is it better over there? Here their dentistry is better there. I've had a Duff wisdom tooth. They both came through for me when I was like, you know, 16 or whatever it was. No, well, when I was younger. But at 16, the top bits just disappeared. I'm great. That's like, and every dentist like, you got to have them out. You got to have them out. And they're the ones that give me the less jip. It's all the others. Stop having barbecues only. Yeah, the PMs can only have the parties. Exactly. That'll be exactly it there. And you got the alert as well, Adam. So I jumped out my skin there. Oh, oh, what's that one too, Sam Bud? What's that for, Jedi? And Bempton. Oh, Bempton means we need to add that to the list, don't we, for our UK UFO hotspot tour. If only ever received one of the alerts, another 6 minute warning, no 6 minute warning, yeah, it's pointless really. The only reason we had the 4 minute, the 6 minute warning back in the Cold War was because we had all the radar dishes, so the Americans got the advanced warning. That's why we had a useless, well, we might as well tell the Brits, but, you know, what are we going to do with that? And how are we doing there? Currently in Tenerife, and the sky is unreal there tonight, so clear. Oh, I do. Well, one day, guys, we'll do a little like a summer holiday one, and we'll go to somewhere like cheap and hot. I'll get an EasyJet flight somewhere, and we'll do some live sky watching from, I don't know, somewhere. Where's cheap nowadays? Where's Chia? Probably nowhere. And the Nimitz radar crew admitted to chasing USOs multiple times as well. We've had a few people that's worked in the submarine industry that have said that that is something that comes up in conversation there. And Mr. D, how are we doing there? Keep dropping facts there so your listeners to deep dive. Hey, and it's a good one there because, you know, people might go, oh, that resonates with me. And they can go off and have a little explore. They can go a bit deeper on it there. Oh, and Elliot, it was like a black rimmed circle with around 10 coloured lights in a weird pattern. Now, that is really odd. Like, really, really odd. I'd love to see that picture. If you post it, tag us in it and we'll see that one. Stop mentioning the fires. Is it going to go off? Is it keeping you warm? Buffy, every time there's a documentary investigation, the Baltic Sea UFO, there's always a storm that hinders the dive and ends the doc or episode. Yeah, they all sorts of interference. They put down ROVs on it, didn't they? And they all had technical issues. Feels like something's going on a little bit there. Lewis as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? Guys, if you're new here, we're doing a UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. We're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. Is this my tracker going to work? My remote going to work? No. Better luck, I've ordered a new one. Anyway, yeah, we're looking out for UFOs UAP in the night sky. Do say hello, let us know where you're watching from, but make sure you're followed, subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we're on pretty much every night. Clear skies, and it's UFO Skywatch. Cloudy nights, we do an alien radio signal hunt there, where we search the hydrogen line, the channel on the radio dial that scientists theorize that if ET's out there, this is where they put the message. It's where the wow signal is heard as well. So yeah, do make sure you're following, get those notifications when we go live. I read earlier about a Russian ship in British waters there, and I got the message and I thought that was it. Oh, well, at the minute, that is the logical one, isn't it there? And Elliot as well, thank you for the follow. Honestly, that's where my brain went. And space is so huge, so there is no way we can be the only living species in space. They might not look or be like us, but they are for sure life in other places. Exactly. And yeah, the only reason that scientists were so, like, you know, negative on it was that they hadn't detected the other planets, and the rest of science hasn't caught up yet. Alan's vaping. Yeah, I did try and move the camera, but it wasn't having it tonight. Wasn't having it. How you doing, SK, as well? Holy Island. Oh, you know, I hadn't even considered that one, Bugle. And Mattis as well there. I once saw a light only similar to the Phoenix reference, 6 big lights in a triangle shape. Really, where in the world was that, Mattis? And I thought that the Russians were coming. We've said alert. At this time, yeah, like with how things are at the minute, 100%. Adam there coming in with the shares, thank you for that. It is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that stuff that really does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. The more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what experience they are going to share with us there. So yeah, do say hello. Finish watching 3 nights of footage in a row. Oh my God, Mr. T, did you get anything good on those ones there? Poland and Bulgaria and the Transylvania Jeep. What's that for? And James there. What is the red planet in the centre of A32? A32. Ah, that one. Good spotting. So we've got one there. We've got one there. And we've got one there. They are dead pixels on the camera, basically. It doesn't like it when it's hot. But we do sometimes. It's not clear. We've got a few wisps of cloud tonight, so we're not doing great for clarity. I mean, it's clear enough to do the spotting, but it's not as beautiful as some. We do have stars that do look exactly as red as that. Just obviously not having it tonight. Oh, I tried uploading the link to the chat, but oh, it keeps getting deleted. Yeah, it probably will there. Add to the Discord. Oh, Punch, appreciate that one. Thank you so much for doing that. I'll check that one out, hopefully after the stream, if I'm not in too much pain. Astra there coming in with the shares too. Appreciate that. And have I missed somebody else? And the likes. Trading cards is in, and was it Recycle? How are we there? I've just taken the most cracking video of something coming over that bright star. Ooh. If you post it, tag us in it or on our Discord, link in bio for that one. Great opportunity there for the rest of. We've got a big community over there, so if they're not in tonight, they'll still get a chance to see it. Would love to hear that. What sort of thing? What did it look? Is it a light coming out of it? Tell us more there. Hey Nathan, how are you doing? And have seen many strange lights moving in weird in Norway. Matt is Norway as well. Again, we get quite a few from your way, and it sounds alive. It sounds really, really alive there. And Recycles Leeds. I like a bit of Leeds, a bit of Yorkshire way. I love that. Have you ever seen anything strange in those skies? There was a crash in C3. I didn't see a crash. Well, of the satellites. And it was on my physical camera, so it'll take around a day to. Oh, Elliot, well, when you do, yeah, post tag it in us, and we'll check it out. That sounds exciting to see. And Chris, how are we doing? And Living Light, good to see you guys. We're all well. I mean, other than the colossal toothache, which is why I'm holding my face. But we'll get there. Stoic, you never hear me complain. Didn't get any notification on the top or in the live section. Have to do a search. Oh, leave it. So it should do. Alan does post it on the Discord ones, but yeah, no, Discord. TikTok does not post us out most of the time. It doesn't like us. Norway, Matty says, "What? Love that." Again, yeah, your skies are crazy, crazy active there. Yeah, it took me a while, Recycle, to get my head around Discord. But that's because I'm old now and I don't get technology. But it's really, really good. We've got a really good personal experience section where you guys are sharing your accounts of the phenomena. But we've also got all of the latest UFO news, space news as well. We do a monthly alien movie club where we watch something and chat along in the Discord. And Noel there as well. Greetings, you little aliens. I have my matchsticks are ready to keep my eyes open. My fat ass went matchsticks, as in matchsticks, you know, matchmakers, the sweets there, the chocolates. You're watching RoboCop 2, Adam. It's all right. Alan will forgive you. Loads of cheap flights on at the last minute. God, I've been on a plane in a while. I'll have to have a look to see where we can go. You know, knowing my luck, they'll lose our bag. It'd have to be carry on, wouldn't it? It is a very good community. We are very, very lucky of you guys. Two lines were heading towards each other and one disappeared. Oh, bugle. So that can just be where it fades out, sort of like with the earth shadow and things like that. It's because it isn't a clear night. But you never know. It has happened before. We've not caught it yet, but it has happened. And I suppose we wouldn't visually see, like we wouldn't see an explosion or anything like that. We would just see the light go out because, you know, there's less surface area to be reflected because it's become so many smaller pieces. So yeah, bugle. And woo, how are we doing there? Much love to you as well there, woo-woo. And Isaac as well. Is it all right if I message you? I swear I saw something the other day. 100% Isaac. It takes me a while to get to the messages, but yeah, by all means, we do get there eventually. And Norway is good. They have shapeshifters, Duende, and Evil Fae there. Oh my god. That's right. I want to kind of add that to our international tour list now, but you've just scared me off. Seen the People Flask the other day. It was huge. People Flask? What was that? And we're watching a non-alien film this month. Apparently, yeah, I didn't realise it was non-alien. I didn't add it to the list. We'll blame Alan. He runs the movie club. More Norwegians. Yeah, we got it. We got. I think Mattis is as well there, and I think somebody else is as well there. And Bugle sound as poetry in Norway. Beautiful. You know, what can I say? The people's poet. XM as well, how are we doing there? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How are you doing, XM? Good to see you there. James as well, coming in with the gifts. Appreciate that. Isaac too, coming in with the follows. Where are you joining us from tonight? Where's the chat there? Oh, so in the eclipse the other day, I took a photo. I saw a blue and purple glowing globe. Now, that is called blue and purple as well. Whereabouts was it, you know, in range of the sun then for the eclipse time? And Andy there, we are like more. Appreciate that, guys. It is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that jazz. That does help us reach more and more. And like-minded people like yourselves, and the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together. So 4 together the other day, heading in different directions. It is amazing to watch. It really is. You don't necessarily need the aliens, do you, for it to be awesome to see. You know, the shooting stars, the satellites, the Starlink trains. Always very cool to see. Forget that water exists. I have a smaller photo there, but it looked kind of like a small-bodied animal with 4 legs and a red light. All right, that is really interesting, Elliot. I'll have to have a look at that. Stars that soothe and stars that bless and stars that cause sweet forgetfulness. But very good. It's amazing. Thank you, Woo. And did you check on the anomalous object from last night, Amanda? So yeah, we did. No idea what that was. Still got no idea. It was very strange, but also very, very awesome there. And James as well, coming in with a gift. Sorry, I totally missed those ones. Appreciate that. All goes back in the stream to help us improve what we're doing. And people, I do sleep on this, but Norway had a place called Hessdalen there, worth looking at. Oh, Hessdalen is very, very interesting. So guys, there's a place called Hessdalen. I always forget this in Norway, but essentially they have these regular lights there, you know, strange lights in the sky. Places like Martha, Texas has this as well. There are a few places in the world where they always see these lights, and there's a lot of folklore around it. Nobody knows what it is, what's causing it, but you quite regularly you can see these strange lights dancing around in the night sky, these orbs of light. And you know, one of the big theories is that these could be plasma-based life forms, plasmoids, and people are monitoring the places like Hesdalen there, and they seem to be displaying behaviours of intelligence, like interacting with the environment, responding to stimulus, working together, even potential reproduction and stuff like that. So that would be mind-blowing. And the word on the street is that they are very, very close to actually, being able to confirm that, to be releasing that sort of publicly. It was a conclusion of a couple, official government. How do you call it? Government research papers looking into what the UFO phenomena is. One part they did say was, look, these plasmoids look like it could be a real thing, and we need to do more about that one there. And thank you, Mattis, for the gift. That's very kind. But yeah, it's a really interesting place there. I think that's going to be one of the places where they are doing that research right now to push it over the line there. Oh, was it 2209? 24 Starlinks flying over. That's going to be cool. Oh, sorry, guys, they're too fake. Normally I get distracted and he's there, but it's getting to me today. As well. It's at night. No, that's even better. That's even better, Isaac. There. And Brian, how are we doing there? Liberty, good to see you in. Well, you was on earlier today. I briefly saw you doing a stream. How did that go? And Lucy, how are we tonight? Chris too. Isaac, what is your scariest experience watching for aliens? So, really good question. Every now and again, we do take the show on the road, and there's a lot of places locally where there's been a history of sightings. So this little town in the 60s and 70s had a massive UFO flap here, one of the best I've ever heard of. Really, really consistent for 10, 15 years, just like every weekend. That good use of the grid, guys. That the stuff was happening. So we go every now and again up the old Iron Age hill forts that surround the town, and we have a look where those 60s and 70s skywatchers would see these things. And so when I'm doing this in here, I feel pretty detached, It's a real camera, it's 10 metres in front of me, but it kind of feels a bit like a video game because I'm looking at screens and, I'm inside the house, all nice and safe. When we go up on the hills, though, it's just us in the dark with the camera and stuff. I do get a little bit Scooby-Doo. I get a bit spooked, and there's been a few times where, there's been some things that weren't spooky that scared me. We got rushed by cows in the last one, but I've seen some strange lights up there, and it kind of makes you go a bit, when you're actually out there with it, a bit more vulnerable. And I thought we were playing Paper, Scissors, Rock, Lizard Smog. I've not heard that variation. Andrewski, have you put your cooling cloth in the fridge while it's damp there? It really makes a difference. I haven't yet. I keep forgetting that those things exist, and then Leanne comes and brings it for me. But this is now warm water. I'm just trying to stop the pain. Bloody teeth. And Tom as well, they have a website where you can follow camera and monitor the data. Really? I did not know that. Now, that is good that it's public. Right, I'm going to have a look at that one up. Thank you for that. It's not cooler tonight, Lucy. It is still bloody hot. It's ridiculous. My drink and the gaming session was spoiled by the UK government flash message about wildfire warning. Yeah, a warning, not even an emergency. They haven't heard the boy that cried wolf, have they? Oh, Pancake, yeah, he's the way. And sadly, that seems to be where my body goes. Any excuse. My thought is teeth. No, it needs to come out. And there's no middle ground. I go at the dentist, go, yeah, your teeth are fine, you don't need to think. Next week, they'll go, this one's got to come out. What happened? You looked at it last week, and I confuse the dentists with that. I've not got many left, so that's what I'm not even sure. I don't even think it's the actual teeth, but there's something going on, because killing me there. Some clove oil. I've got some. I might have to resort to it because it is getting progressively worse there. But typically, it's always building up to the weekend. Can't even deal with it there. He wasn't even bald in that one bugle. And Mr. Wonder One there. Did you know a lot of flat earthers say that satellites don't exist there? And I wonder what they think all the moving stuff is then. So I've heard a few things around that. And it's not I don't lean that way. I'm open to it. But I promise a lot of the arguments that I hear, I don't follow. I think I need with those guys to kind of go back even further and kind of find the place where we do agree, and then they can hold my hand as they're explaining the rest of it. Because I've heard a few explanations for it, but I've just not followed at all with it there. Lucy, I jumped out of my skin when the alert went off then. I'm sure it was very helpful for someone without common sense. Yeah. Oh, damn it, I was just going to go to the woods and start to set fire to things. But that's what they think, isn't it? Clove oil didn't work for me there. Slicing garlic lengthways and holding it on my gum for 7 work, though. Be spicy. So the clove oil never used to work, but on the last one, which was this time last year, that did at that time. So I will try it again. But God, that stung. I've not tried the garlic, though. It tastes rank, but it really helps with that. Yeah, should we do it on stream? And you can watch me scream. Amber salt liquid for 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, best thing on the earth for it, I believe. I know. I feel your pain there. Ibuprofen is pretty good as well. Oh, I get mine. Nothing will touch it, but I'm gonna. The name rings a bell. I feel like I've had that in the house for some reason. Let me just copy that. I want to paste that so I don't forget that, because I was hoping I was going to get away with it. I was hoping it was just going to be a bit of a twinge, but it is. It's being a little bit difficult. I am not going to lie, guys, which means sleep's going to be even bloody worse. Oh. Right. Okay, I've got that on the tab. Thank you there, Nathan, for that one. Right, where is everything tonight? Get the Kerbals to tie the tooth. The next rocket. The problem is, I don't know which tooth it is, because I've had root canals in all of these ones up here and all of these ones down here. So there's not many teeth left to be the problem. The pain radiates, doesn't it? Because you only got like 1 or 2 nerves each side. So they kind of, you go, oh, it hurts here, but really the problem's up there. Okay, what? I haven't got any nerves left for this to be a problem. So we'll see. Actually, I suppose, no, I do have the wisdom tooth, don't I? That I've been ignoring since 16. Crushed garlic paste. Oh, a 2 for the garlic, yeah. Or gel. Instant numb. I'm going to be raiding the cupboards in it, seeing what I've got there. And now, there with the masses of space junk, satellites who I know, what else is up there, you would think there would be a lot more collisions there. Does that ever happen? You really would, especially when you're considering the junk and the debris and stuff like that. You really would think that, wouldn't you? They do track it quite well, and they do make a lot of adjustments, but it is a big fear, and I think there has been 1 or 2. But again, that was, I believe, was before Starlink was really at the numbers, which is, again, most of what is up there. But I hate to say, I had a wisdom tooth extracted 12 years ago, and it was like torture there, seen from Reservoir Dogs. Now, TMD, and I had constant pain in my jaw on the side of the head. Yes, Bugle, but yeah, I had this one, this side done, the wisdom tooth, and it was one of those situations where the dentist, had his leg on the table and was, pulling out and breaking into a sweat. And like at the point where the injections wore off and they couldn't give me any more, but they had to finish the job. And I came home after that, and I sat and cried in the corner. Like, I just felt abused from it. I was just totally destroyed. So hence why I don't like the dentist again with those. But that was awful. That was really awful. So hence the aversion for getting the other one taken out. But yeah, no, now if I open my mouth, my jaw crunches. If I've got like an ice lolly that I'm sucking on, my jaw goes ever since then. Sneaky breath, but health suit that I'll take anything at the minute there. And Jasper, well, the wildfires are in the criteria for an emergency alert state. South Wales, we are surrounded by them, with the firefighters working 16-hour shifts there. The military's coming in finally. Yeah, well, it's an emergency if it's on your doorstep. That's the thing, isn't it? It's got to be horrendous with it. With all the effects. I mean, not just for the nature, but people living around the smoke and all of that, and a real big worry. They are dangerous, but not for the entire country. That's the point. Is that an emergency alert is that you do, because it's too late now, guys. Take cover. Anything more than that is a warning. And you can't do it, because then it wears off the effect there. It does. Then people don't that it's special. And Oragel is an adult and not a child. Is it really? Where are we then? And it's bloody hot last night, and the heat was unbearable. Oh, lethal. And it's just as hot here today. Just as hot. Maybe a degree less, not by much. The drill and the hammer. I don't know which one it is, though. That's the problem. I don't think it's that one. Maybe it is. How you doing, Kate, as well, mate? There, Toxic's being a twat. So you found it. It's all right, Kate. It's all right. How you doing? And Elliot there, I was watching some star footage back, and I saw a slow-moving curve light there, and it seemed weird and unnatural. Oh, depending on the curve, that could be really interesting. Because, yeah, stars... that as you watch them move across the screen, it's as the Earth's rotating, isn't it, at those distances? Yeah, it depends on the curve. That could be interesting. Oh, another one just at the top there, slight flash. I think that was just on the edge of the camera there, though. Red Cornetto ice cream there. I remember Shaun the Dead. I do like a Cornetto there. And you have pain in the temple. A little bit. It's getting more up there, but mostly down here. Mandibular muscle pain goes from jaw all the way up to the temple. Yeah, you see, it's all the way. It's starting to creep up there, but it's all around here. It's getting a bit... Normally I get distracted by doing this, but yeah. Daniels is good for toothache. You wouldn't want to see me on stream with, a few pence in me. Dehydration doesn't help there. The root on my wisdom tooth was curved. Yeah, same, Bugle. That same, yeah. They said, oh, you've got a tricky one. But they didn't tell me that beforehand. And I know that this one is as well, so I'm like, it can stay in there for the long as. JD was to Spain did for me years ago. I might have to try it. I might have to at this rate there. Origel is benzocaine. You can only get it from the oh really? Okay, right. Well, definitely the chemist for that. I'm gonna have to raid the thing in a minute. We're gonna watch me apply clove oil there. It's supposed to motivate. It's just and it won't go. Yeah, no, it won't. It always starts just before the weekend, knowing you can't see the dentist still. But it really does do that. Yeah, and also because when you lie down at night to go to sleep, even if you've kind of been distracted by the day and you've got on with it, when you lay down, because your blood pressure changes, more blood rush there, it gets worse just as you're trying to get to sleep. Child labour is more bearable than toothache. Well, it's something that I wouldn't know about, but it's good to know because, oh my God, it's awful. I can complain now, more detailed there. Lee, how are we doing? And Jabbers, how are we doing? In Cheshire, cloudy there. We're getting a few wisps. It's not as good as it has been, but it's definitely clear enough for us to keep monitoring for the strange there. Cloudy in Cornwall too. Oh. This is that mid-range where it's now spoiling the sky a little bit, but also we're not getting any of the benefit of being cooler there. Now things are quiet, you are, Kate. Good. Glad to hear it there. Start off with the smallest. By the time I find it, you'll be desensitised. I ain't got many left. Like I struggle to eat a steak now. I really have to do it in small pieces because I've had so many of them out because you can't afford root canals. So I've got not got many left. I've mostly been drinking shandies. Yes. All good flash out, good spot in there in A1. Yeah, I think that was the one I caught at the top of the screen there. I'm a lightweight, yeah. I was no longer a fun drunk after a certain age, so I thought best stop. Probably. Oh, thank you, Kate. I appreciate that one. I don't know if you saw the message. Our YouTube was having a sulk with the horizontal ones. So I've got to try and see if I can tweak them a bit to get it working because it was trying to put up as 4 videos, and I don't know if there was an issue on TikTok yet. I have to have a look at that one. But yeah, hopefully if the tooth isn't too bad, I'm going to tackle over the weekend to get the rest of them up. Thank you. But yeah, it's just a heads up. You know something else with benzocaine? What is that, Alan? Oh, this was just after you mentioned it. Perfect. So there's multiple. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's a stationary one. It's just catching it occasionally. Keep an eye then on A1. They pulled them all out, Jedi. I would. If I could afford some sort of implant, I would. They'll be straight out. Oh, straight out for it there. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah. Again, I'm no longer the party animal I once was. They found me a dentist on a sale. I don't know, like, if I trust them now though. Like after having that experience, like I'm like I might just wait for my dentist, who I don't know if I trust him anymore. But yeah, I don't know. After that, well, that was awful. Healing. Oh, thank you, Rando. I appreciate that. Definitely needed tonight. Just get Alan to probe you. You won't think about your teeth then. And is it just me, or are adverts on all streams getting worse there? Are trying to force us to shell out for the cash they can buy? That is exactly what they're doing. That's exactly. You get used to it, then they push it a bit more, and they push it a bit more, push it a bit more. Absolute bastards. What's it like on the? Do you get ads on TikTok at all on the live feeds? I know the one that was worse for me was Twitch. That was just ridiculous to the point where I never even tolerate the platform at all. I don't have any teeth, so don't suffer. Lethal, I'm on that. Luckily, the front ones, touch wood, they're fine. You know, the single root buggers, they've never not really an issue for me. All of the molars and shit, more than one root, we're gonna have a bad time. I'd be saying, yeah, don't 10k, and 10k might get you half of your mouth if you're lucky and you go to Turkey. Like dentistry is ridiculous there. Oh, Tommy, you don't get any adverts. Is that because you got the older blockers on there, or is it Prime? Cardiff's cloudy as well there. I think we're getting a bit of the cloud. I wonder how much, because our lens is quite good with the cloud, so we do get to see a bit more. I don't know. Turkey teeth. It's tempting, Bugle. It's tempting. So actually, the TikTok ones are the ones that work better. I think it was the horizontal ones that didn't. So I didn't put the shorter ones up there, but there were a couple that were horizontal with the YouTube ones. It didn't like those ones mostly. It was it actually, because it thinks the horizontal ones, the TikTok video, that it thinks they're no, the vertical ones, the TikTok video. It thinks that they're reels, which is good, or shorts. Sorry. So yeah, they're good for YouTube as well as TikTok. They work for both basically. Yeah, I think it was the horizontal ones it was having sulk with that were too short. Pain in the ass. Don't stress about it. I just to have a heads up. Lentis did a filling with no numbing, chap. Pointless, apparently. That's grounds. That's abuse. That is up. That is literally abuse. That is. Yeah. So unfortunately, Cumberland had to have them removed. It's all, but it's heaven now. Jedi, honestly, it is. It's at least twice a year. It's an extraction or a root canal. It's for one of my back teeth. Oh my god, that's a bargain. That's a bargain. Although it's always the what's the root canal I did have last? Because I thought I can't afford to not have any more molars now. I need to be able to eat. And that was like they were like, well, we can give it a go, but I'm not confident because of the shape of your roots. I'm going to get it all, so you might have to then have it half done and wait a few days for like a surgical one. And I'm like, what? That's a possibility? Luckily, they did do it. Pictures of it with a beak for turkey teeth there. No edges yet. They will once they've cornered it. Lots and Tuesdays to get maybe 2 lots out. Now it's every 20 minutes. Jesus, that's ridiculous. 1 and then 2 and now 3. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's awful. We don't add any extra ones to it, but apparently, yeah, it's done on they call it add load, how much an individual user will tolerate. So they know how many you'll watch before you click off of like your average for your watching, and they'll push it. How are we doing, King Richard? Good to see you in. Hope you've been well. No, but on the talk, Janie. Yeah, not yet. I don't think. I'm sure they'll find a way of doing it. Every 30 seconds. A gummy bear. But you don't get any pains there. Do you have aspirin, cocodamol, ibuprofen, or the paracetamol? I'll take it now so it can work as quick as possible. The ibuprofen was working, and I thought it stopped working today, so I thought, right, I'll try cocodamol. It didn't do anything, and now I'm a little bit upset because I'm like, crap. When I've been here before, when the pain stops working, then I'm lumbered with it. So I might go try some in a minute. Although I tell you what, this is a tip for everybody else here, guys. The missus did this and I thought you're taking this is totally bollocks, but she's got this, is it a lymphatic brush, and it's like a really soft tiny brush that's got like the hairs are trimmed into like lumps, and it's designed to kind of clear your lymphatic nodes and drain you off like that. And I go, it's one of these silly, I thought it was like a beauty routine thing that actually does nothing. So she goes, let me just try it, and she kind of do it like 10 times or 20 times on each of the face, kind of clearing the loads like that. And I'm going, yeah, look, I'm in pain, but I'll try it. It actually stopped it outright. It stopped the pain just like that. Like when she's done it, I was like, I'm actually blown away there. But I think it's getting a bit worse now, so it's probably well beyond that. But it's worth a try. Pancake. I'm premium on YouTube as well. It is worth it if it's something you can do and you want to. Like, it is worth it like that. Yeah, just because the amount of breaks you don't have to deal with. Expedition X investigating Mothman. See, X, I like a little bit of Mothman. That is an interesting one there. And it's too cloudy in Paisley. So we're getting a bit of cloud now. But we're still clear enough to see some movement. It's not tracking the objects very well. A massive phobia of false teeth. It's my worst nightmare, losing my teeth. Yeah. I wouldn't want the false... Not the implants, not so bad because they're... But like, actually, yeah, no, I get that. Every 5 minutes lethal. Oh my God, that is insane. That is like actually insane. It was blockers, and friends gave me some codes to put in to brave there. I've never seen that, but that is brilliant. I'm no longer technically illiterate enough to be able to do it there. 200 ml of warm water, pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide there. Rinse your mouth out with 30 seconds and spit it out. I wonder if I've got any hydrogen peroxide there. This sounds quite dangerous. Smart tube. What's smart tube? Boom boom. Pancakes with peroxide as well, 3% dilute. Excellent. Okay, all right, I'll try that one. If I'm not here tomorrow, I've got the dilution wrong there. And they're not bad until you lose them. Yeah, another thing to remember. How much? I think it's £15 a month at the minute. And so for me, YouTube, it was worth it. Not just for the entertainment. The entertainment's brilliant, for that. But like my whole career, and I'm in. Senior management is the technical position there, which is a joke because my admin skills are ridiculously bad. But like, I had no experience in any of this at all, any way, shape, or form. But it was YouTube videos, self-taught, And, you know, luck as well, a lot of luck. But all the actual skills of development was YouTube. And if you think about that versus university degree, I'll pay it every time there. Oh, well, a Lanspeed there, it turns your brain off so you don't feel anything. Mr. One, a Lanspeed, that does ring a bell. Either I've been on it or someone I know has. I've run out of the names of the ones I've been there. Premium turkey teeth. Ivories. Too many years working in healthcare, I've seen some nasty ones. Oh, I totally bet that. Steve there coming in with the shares, appreciate that one too. And Lethal coming in with the gifts. All goes back into sync. Gold plated now, couldn't afford that. Switched up the edit. Oh, on the vertical there view. The rest are clipped. From YouTube. The video connects. Oh, I get ya. I mean, we still got a couple up. We still got a couple of them out there. Yeah, but I think it was the horizontals, the YouTube viewed ones. There's something about them that he didn't like. I have to double check for it. But there. Boom boom. That's not too bad. $12.99. No premium for advertising. Yeah, hey, if only they gave us a little discount code, we could upsell you guys. But yeah, you don't get the adverts on it. Nobody knows how false they look. Real and happy with that. I've seen the individual implant ones as well, and they are so good. Excellent. Low tolerance for the self-proclaimed star steeds. Oh, look. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Premium teeth. Yeah, it's an upgrade. I haven't paid extra for it. That's why I'm getting the pain. If I paid £15 a month to the church, I would turn the pain off there. Oh, you can do it together, Janie. Okay, might try that. Getting desperate there. Oh, does it make you have the dehydration? Okay, well that probably I have to consider. Make sure I'm drinking enough there. Check out probably every night. Rinse your mouth out there. Propolis. Oh, not heard of that one. Oh yeah, you pay for no advert. Yeah, that is so the premium, yeah, gives you no adverts as well. But like, that's what I mean. It's just worth it. I don't resent paying for YouTube with what I get out of it generally. Oh my god, yeah, do the dentist bill just for basic work. You can't get a bloody NHS dentist nowadays at all. Like, if you want to change your NHS dentist as an adult, good luck. Like, no chance at all. Nobody's got any space. They don't have to take you anymore. Can't go back. Yeah. Oh yeah, really. Another way to take out the teeth paint is stand on a piece of Lego, bang your big toe on the corner of a table. I'll balance it out there. A sonic toothbrush makes a mess difference. I've got a normal electric one. Sonic ones, so I suppose you uses sound to make the clean. Interesting, because yeah, you suppose you get the sonic parts cleaners and stuff, don't you, for things like that? Never thought of that one, Paul. Clover, I'm literally going to reach for that in a minute there. 2 paracetamol, 2 codeine. I'm going to be stacking them, I think. Left the other planet there. I apply paracetamol 2 hours between each other, 4 hours, 4 hour rotation, and then I fill a sock with rice and bang it in the microwave and put out the pain clover in between. Can you remind me? Because it's trying to, get the. When did I take that one? And when did this there? Gargle saltwater. Saltwater's never helped me for that one though. And Chris there, what are the moving objects there? So, good question. A lot of those are going to be man-made satellites where you need to pay attention because some of those will stop dead, change speed, change course or trajectory, and that is how we know that they are something much similar. Much stranger, sorry, is by their movement. Yeah, if they don't do anything like that, then probably a man-made satellite. I need to go nuclear. None of that saltwater stuff there. Just rock. Call it a saline solution. Yeah, I want the nuclear test. Yeah, that's a good point. That's probably why it's getting worse. SmartTube is free, no ads, but it's a side-loading app. Oh, okay, but I'll have to look into that. Well, it didn't make sense to me as I was saying it, Kate. Effervescent paracetamol are very good as they contain a lot of salt and are effervescent, yes, yeah, dissolving in water there, swish them around your teeth. Okay, yeah, I didn't even know you could get those. Perfect there, just have to take them out every night. Made your tooth in a river of cold beer. And can you see planets? So we can, when they come up, they look very similar to this one over here, basically. When we have, you know, Mars or Jupiter up in shot. We've got none arranged at the second to look at, but yeah, they basically look like that, like a really bright white dot for us. B. Propolis is a miracle worker. I haven't tried it. And Mars there, so I had to dash for a quick chat with Trevor. Oh, excellent, about the disclosure in Mackinac at the end of the month. Interesting. What was said, or can you say, I got your dentist straight away, Ben? Oh, yeah, I don't feel... I've got a dentist, but I mean... I just should have rung up earlier. I kept putting it off. It's my own fault. Strong coconut. I don't even know what strength my eyes are. Oh, yeah, you've probably got access to the good stuff there, Janie. Are you given an appointment in a week? What? Everybody I've heard has gone, nah, no chance for an NHS dentist. Literally no chance. Friends, family, all over the country. That is crazy. Hold a whiskey against the tooth. I don't know if I've got any. I think we might have some. Yeah, exactly. How in the world? So it doesn't help the pain there. It worsens the infection. Does it really? Pair of pliers. I don't know which tooth it is though. That's the problem. It's none of the teeth actually individually hurt like they normally do if it was a rotten tooth or something. I think I've just got an infection somewhere. Bad luck. All the clothes will numb your area and the naughty tooth. Yeah, I'm gonna try it in a second. You can have a laugh at me for that. There, toffee hammers are good for tooth pain. I've got close, guys, to getting the pliers out previously. Which really was pass. And Lisa there, honestly, Teether is a powder that's used for teething babies. It really does help. You know what? I will try that. I'm going to be going around the shops tomorrow, getting all this sort of stuff. Thank you for the heads up there. To rub it on the affected area. Once you smash your teeth out, no more tooth pain. Just what's left in the gums. Yeah, exactly. As much because you're an insider, up. You know, you're getting all the good jobs. You're abusing your position. I'm going to try the clove. I've had it before though. It just burns and then didn't help, but it did work last time, I think. Sort of what will help there, and the burning of your tongue definitely. I'm going to try that one in a second, I think. On the tooth as well. You know, I never thought about that. I'll leave you with Alan. I'm going to go see if I can find if I've still got the clove oil. Give me a second. I'll be back in a minute. See if I get Leanne to take over. Oh.
Hi. Oh, it is warm in here. I don't know why he sits up here. Yeah, he is in a lot of pain at the minute. Like he keeps telling me to rub his face, and you know, I know for a fact that he is gonna wake me up at like 4 a.m. going, please, can you rub my face? Poor thing. Oh, look, that's a good one. Can you see it? I don't know where it is on the screen. Somewhere. There's a good one going across the screen, guys. See if you can see it. It's not getting picked up by the tracker, though. That's odd. Huh. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Sorry. Can I share something, please? Yes, please do. That's why we're here. Hi, everyone. Thanks for saying hi. Shove in a sleeping pill, Leanne, or knock him out. Into artist Leanne. Yes, I need to do some more colouring in, guys. I haven't done any for a little while.
Have you got those cotton buds that got flat tip padded ones?
No, I think we ran out of them. There's more cotton buds in there.
Yeah, I like the flat.
He likes the... He's very specific about his cotton buds. Hi, lovely to meet you too. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Sam's other half, and I sometimes jump on the stream when he disappears to fix the camera or go sort out his teeth or whatever it is. I will come up for a bit and chat to you guys. I try and keep on topic. I try and read the chat. I will do my best. But I do tend to go off on, is he trying to get out of household chores? No, he's actually He's actually very good at his household chores, I have to say. Although I don't know if he cleared up after dinner. I think he did. Mars is the tip of the volcano. The asteroid belt is the moment of eruption punched through.
It burned.
Jupiter, the gas plume meeting the cosmic ocean. Oh, it's... Where did it go? I've lost it. I lost it.
What one are you looking at?
It was a long comment about Jupiter being a volcano. It's on that one.
Oh, this one. Oh, you, because you're at the bottom.
Oh, there we go. Up. That one.
Yeah, just scroll down if you need it.
The gas plume meeting the cosmic ocean currents and creating vortexes everywhere. Saturn, Uranus, and I'm guessing that's going to say Neptune in a moment. Sam's going to have to liaise with you on that one because I'm not sure where we're going. I'd love to hoover up, but that tooth is stopping me. No, he does do the hoovering. I've got to give him that. Not as often as maybe he intends to. He wants to do it every day. But he does do it at least once or twice a week. Leanne, when we're going vampire hunting with Sammy to Transylvania, tell him to get the garlic out. Yeah, we're going to actually, hopefully if his teeth are okay, we're going to go for a walk tomorrow, and go check out somewhere that's supposed to have paranormal activity. We're going to check it out, scope it out during the day, and then see what it's like, and if it is any good, then Sam's got a lot of new toys, that will really help us, get out and do stuff in the wild, you know? He's gone to whiten his teeth. Has he got the pliers out? He's not gone to whiten his teeth. He's got a, got toothache. It's odd. His teeth are rubbish. I've got to be honest. I can't really say anything. I'm terrible with my teeth. Scared of the dentist when I was a kid, but also hated brushing my teeth. So terrible habits now as an adult. And I didn't go to the dentist for years until I had one tooth hurt. A couple of years back, I went, oh, that does hurt actually, and it was on one of the ones. I knew the ones at the back. One of them was pointing the wrong way and stuff. And whenever I got jaw ache, it was always those teeth. But they're right where, you know, where the jaw joint is. So I was like, I could just be that I'm clenching my teeth. I had been told previously that I was showing signs for that. So I went to the dentist and I thought, I might need a filling. Maybe might need 1 or 2 out.
Wash the clove oil down my throat.
Oh god, the whole bathroom's gonna stink again now. Yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, got there, and she goes, there's this herb. She's got this pointy thing, right? Pointy little metal thing, and goes on my tooth. Okay, right. We're gonna have to take 3 of your teeth out. I sobbed at the dentist. Sam had to be in there with me anyway because I was so scared. And yeah, but I've got to be honest. So because I was so scared of the dentist and I was like 3 teeth, there's no way I'm going to live through that. And because I was so scared, I said, there's no way that I'm doing this awake. We're going to have to pay the big bucks and have me anaesthetized. And it was really weird. I don't know if you guys have had it, but it's the injection where apparently you're awake. You're conscious the entire thing. But you just don't remember it. And I don't remember. I remember one bit about middle of the way through where they took 1 tooth out. I went, you've already got 1 tooth out. That was pretty quick. Didn't hurt at all. The most painful bit was the needle going in at the start. And then afterwards, I had no problems with my teeth. It was pretty chill. Like I had the ibuprofen, I had the ice packs ready, I had everything ready, and literally I think I did a couple ibuprofen on the first day, maybe a couple the next day, but not because it hurt, just because I was just like, that's what I got told I should do. So I did, and it was absolutely fine. I've still got my teeth in the drawer. They're disgusting to look at, but I think they're good reference point to remind me that I really should be doing something about my teeth. So there you go. Oh, sorry. Volatile gases and water vapor emitted from eruption. The current of the volcano and the ocean create axis and spins of the plane. We are inside of heaven, the planet. Heaven is higher dimensional energy flowing through our solar volcano. From heaven illuminated the shadows. Every point you see is the cracks of the planet heaven. We are inside looking out, and time flows through because of gravity. See, I think I kind of get what you're saying there. So I'm very of the school of ideas that I think that heaven and other dimensions, I think it's all sitting on top of each other. So I'm very, you'll know, for those of you who've been in the stream before when I've taken over, I'm into the paranormal, but not so much aliens. I like talking about ghosts and the afterlife, and then talking about how that relates to quantum physics. And even though I don't know much about quantum physics, but I get a little taster, and the bits that I do understand or kind of understand seem to relate back to this idea about life after death and consciousness existing outside of physical bodies. So yeah, I can understand the idea that what we are seeing in this reality is only a very tiny part. We're only perceiving a very small part of reality. Reality depends if we're talking about our reality is subjective, but if we're talking reality, the objective reality, yeah, I don't think we perceive all of it by any means. And we know that just based on how other animals see the world. You know, dogs are colorblind, but they hear and smell things differently to us. Birds can see ultraviolet, and that's how, for years, we didn't understand how they knew to fly north and south and stuff, but it's because they can see magnetic paths in the sky, and they follow it. And it's pretty fantastic and amazing. So if, you know, imagine how that changes your perception. I think it was Nagel who wrote the essay, What Is It Like to Be a Bat? And essentially it was saying that as humans, we can understand what a bat is. We can know how the bat's biology works and what they can perceive. You know, they are mostly blind. They navigate through sonar. Is it sonar? No. The clicking. Yeah, that's how they navigate through the world. They have wings, but the idea was that bats are so different physiologically to us as humans that we will never know what it is like to be a bat. There is an... I can't remember if he described it as subjective or objective, but there is a truth of being a thing. Yes, did you know that butterflies pass on memory even after death? So the idea as well, I think it's a brilliant example of, so caterpillars, when they go into the cocoon phase, they become soup in there. They are soup. But the butterfly can remember things that it was taught as a caterpillar. So even though its brain is completely dissolved, or whatever kind of brain it had is completely dissolved. I mean, I read something recently that there were some like neurons that survive and stuff, so maybe that's how it's kept in, how that memory, echolocation, thank you, that's how it's all stored, maybe. But to me it felt a lot like, you know, people often say like souls aren't, you know, people argue that souls aren't real, it's just your brain, you're just a brain in there. I liken it more to the internet. I think our global consciousness is like the internet. Some people have more access to the internet than others. Some of us only get access to one web page. Our bodies are the computer, or our brains are the computer, right? If my computer broke right now, I wouldn't say that Wikipedia was down. I wouldn't say, oh, Wikipedia's gone, because my computer's not working. That's not how it works. So I liken it, or you can liken it to radios. You know, just because the radio isn't working anymore doesn't mean that the radio waves are no longer being transmitted. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I could go on, but I can hear sound coming back. And also, I've got a bit of a sore throat. So, are you alright, darling?
I'm more human now. We'll see how long it lasts.
Okay, would you like to start talking to people? We were talking about, so if you scroll up, you can see Daniel Baker was giving us some of their theories about things. That one, that's where it starts. Mars is the tip of the volcano, but then it got me talking about how I can understand. He talked about cracks in reality. Anyway, you'll see it and you can talk about it. I haven't read any of the other comments because I'm terrible at this. I'm so sorry, but thank you all for listening and for chatting with me, and hopefully I'll speak to you all soon. And if we do the paranormal thing, the scouting mission tomorrow, we will let you know, and we will try to plan an actual mission.
I might summon you again for clove oil.
For more clove oil? Oh no.
We might just get you to do that brushing thing on the stream.
Okay.
Just telling her about it.
You would have seen it. If you're on TikTok, then you've surely seen the brushes, the face brushes, to get lymphatic drainage. I don't know, it's all over my TikTok anyway. And so I did actually look on Amazon. It was like £2 for this brush, and I thought, I'll do it, why not? And it does actually. It's not, there was one woman who did it, and I swear she went from droopy face on one side to completely snatched on the other. I don't think it's quite as dramatic as that for most people.
Woman?
No, snatched on the other. Yeah, and it looked amazing, and it did make a bit of a difference. I did one side and covered my face. I did one side, and then I looked in the mirror, and this side did look a bit better than that side. Maybe if you do it more, I don't know. I might. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a night cream in the evenings, and then the lymphatic drainage in the mornings, and I'll take a picture every day and then do one of those so you can see the transformation. That's the one. But it probably won't be that exciting. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Lovely chatting to you all, and I'll give you back to Sam.
Thank you, Stinky.
There you go, darling.
Get your blanket there. This will dry.
Yeah, that's because that's from yesterday.
Oh, was that yesterday? That moment yesterday? Oh. Silly me. Oh, right. I'm slightly more human for the minute. Well, anyway, let's read this one because it sounded interesting what Liam was saying. From Daniel there, Mars is the tip of the volcano. The asteroid belt is the moment the eruption punched through. Jupiter is the gas plume meeting the cosmic ocean currents and creating vortices everywhere there. Saturn and Uranus. Okay, that's interesting. Gargling bleach. Yeah, that you hear me screaming in the bathroom in the background there. Vampire hunting. Hey, look, now we've got the cool mobile rig. X, you're going to like this, right? Because we've got this new magical streaming box. I've got ways to bring in face cams. Oh, this is the brush. Look. Just watch me with my beauty routine.
That's how they do it, isn't it?
Thank you. So yeah, we got a good record for that. So I think we've got some ideas there. I think my good wish is living like I do at the minute. He's gone to whiten his teeth. Yeah, I've just hopped on a plane. I've come back and there'll be ridiculously bright white there, and the hair done at the same time. Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto make up the cold, frozen, burnt, and volatile gases, and water vapor emitted from the eruption. The current of the volcano and the ocean create the axis and spins on the plane. I get the sort of things there. I feel like I've missed the first part though. So is this sort of in a different dimensional sense, or is it a metaphorical? Sam comes back with even more hair. Grandmaster, you were already on it there. We are inside of heaven, the planet. Heaven is higher dimensional, and the energy flowing through our solar volcano from heaven illuminated the shadows. Every point you see is the cracks of the planet heaven. We're inside looking out, and time flows through us because of gravity. Oh, is there a name for this this structure or this understanding? Because I might need to brush up on it because it sounds quite interesting. Oh, magic! What? I can't see the translation. It's not come through for me there, sadly. Putting ice cream on your teeth might single out the bad one. I've done that. I was eating ice cream earlier. Normally, yeah, if there's a bad tooth, there's that. It's not that. That's why I'm so surprised. I thought it was just like a passing infection, so I didn't deal with it in the week. I thought, my gum's a little bit sore. Must have got a little bit of an infection. It'll pass. It's awful. Should I just take the night off, lethal? Then I'll just be sitting with it, though. I'll just be sitting here dwelling on the pain. And the weakest tooth goodbye. We'll do that on stream. Pick which tooth. And the orbits trace the shadows of the eruption, and the volcano, the flow of the volcano, and the solar ocean show the axes and the spin of the planets. I think I'm following. I think I am. Is it Gen Girl? Oh, not Gen Giggle. I found it's really good there. I found it lasts longer than Origel. Right, I'm writing that one down. Hold on. Which I will physically write that down rather than copy it. Thank you for the heads up there. Life is a fractal. Yep. Okay, I can get that. Yeah. If you took a rose made out of whole roses, you would have a higher dimensional rose. Now shine a light on the rose, and its 3D shadow will be a single rose with individual petals. Okay, yeah. No, I mean fractals are very, very interesting. So I can kind of get in on that one. I see what you're saying there. Get bit by a vampire, teeth will be fine in 3 days. I would, if there was someone knocking on my door right now, I would consider that. Mercury is the iron basin, Venus is the magma chamber, Earth is the outside surface, and Mars is the tip. Jupiter is the sky, and Saturn again. Oh, okay, right. I think I'm following this a bit more now. So, like, we're saying because of sort of from a higher dimensional point of view, we're all part of the same thing. But we're perceiving it like that. Perceiving it as the solar system, where it's actually more of a combined unit. Oh, lethal, it does taste horrible, as I found out. Dentist pliers are a lot cheaper, Jedi. I've been very close there. Life is fractal. If you took a rose made out of whole roses... Oh, no, I did that one. It was just... My face was on fire there. So, clove oil and codeine. Oh, codeine. No. Which one's the over-the-counter one? Reservoir Dogs torture scene. Just full-on sedate me there. Can't see it there. If you can see it in your mind, you have the key to exploring. I need to work on it a bit, but I'm interested, Daniel. I think I'm not quite as far along. Oh, is the sedation gas and air? Oh, was this what for Leanne was put on? I can't remember what she had now. She was out of it though. God, they used to gas. Like I had a cut of teeth out as a kid, and they gassed us for those. And I can't. If I smell something that's kind of a sickly sweet smell, because I gave you the choice of flavours. One was strawberry. I can't remember what the other one was. But if I smell a sickly, chemically strawberry smell, it just takes me straight back to the fear of being gassed for those. Yeah, today, Sam, it's definitely an improvement. We've switched back now. Good one, Gio. Ice cube pair pliers. What else can you ask for? The problem is as well, I always get dry socket after an extraction. Because I smoke, and when you're stressed, you want to smoke more. So you have a tooth out, and you go, God, that was horrible. So you want to smoke, which then pulls the clot out, and you get a dry bloody tooth there. Oh. Coincidence, yeah. It's not good. Sam's a lot shorter there. As above, so below, don't it? Bang on. Good spot in there. Quantum mechanics and entanglement are high dimensional concepts we live out. I can see that. Amanda, yes, I did show her a video actually. Oh, she missed that one. Yeah, I did show her that one. This is the doorbell one, wasn't it? 12 dimensions and 12 levels within each of those dimensions. We see 3% of what's real. I would argue, Andrew, yeah, bang on. And I think as well, it's important about the way that we conceive of that. So it's not necessarily that we see 3% as in there's 97% more planets, more of the stuff that we know. It's actually that the real full picture totally flips our understanding of what's going on. Totally there. Ice and water halo that gives Earth its water. Time is where we live. So right now it is 4 minutes to midnight. There. Butterflies pass on memory even after death. After death. Now I knew about the you know, when they go into the old soup state, don't they? Before they become butterfly. What are they before? Maggots? No, caterpillars. There we go. The burning bush brought you here. But it's brought a lot of people to these sorts of points, hasn't it? There. Echolocation. That's dolphin. They use echolocation, don't they? Meteors, we are also responsible for delivering us water. So bang on, Chris. So yeah, and it's apparently due to our current understanding of planetary formation models. We think that a planet where Earth is, where we think we formed, shouldn't have as much organic material as we do. So just like, you know, meteors, comets brought the ice, which therefore was the water, they think that, you know, we've got a lot of those organic materials from out the outer solar system. Maybe all of those ingredients were brought here, and maybe that's why we're special in this solar system. Although I don't think we're necessarily that special, because Mars, did look to be pretty Earth-like there, and time is a cycle. Bang on. Good one. Spinning out so far behind on this one though, but I'm getting to the bottom of the chat. Build something in high dimension out. 3D people. Would we not have to be a one? Well, I just don't think we can conceive of it. No matter how hard we try, we just don't have the processing power. And this is one of the things that's really interesting about what people talk about DMT experiences. So my understanding of how the mind works, how the brain works, we can explain a lot of these things through psychology and stuff like that. So when you have certain trips, I think there's some really interesting mainstream explanations for what is going on with certain psychedelics and stuff. But DMT does seem to be different. And you hear people trying to explain the space with fractals and geometry, and it feels very much that they are trying to paint a 4D picture or higher with a 3D paintbrush. That's why they're struggling with it. And maybe it is that we are experiencing something like that on those trips there, and that is why it's so difficult to convey. If I imagine there, well, was it 3.14 irrational, but there. Echolocation. What was that? Oh, you were talking to Leanne about there. It's definitely strange when I saw travel into someone else's mind and a body too. What would that be like? I was watching an interview earlier today, and it's talking about a chap that was interviewing. He's another person in this sort of space, looks into all aspects like this in the phenomena, and one of the people he was interviewing was somebody that claims to be one body housing two souls, and it didn't fit the normal explanations of all of that, the normal psychological stuff around it there, which again, there are real psychological features there, but this one did seem to be two genuine people. And yeah, it was really interesting. I need to look more into that, but it just made me think that you're talking about traveling into somebody there. Was it a similar sort of thing there? I am the guest. We're all Alan's guests here. We'll do our best, Daniel. And extremely interested. Mark, some of these are really interesting there. And Nathan, are you going to Cradle Hill on your walk? So no, maybe actually, maybe. I'm trying to think of where she was talking about going now as the local thing. Oh, Cradle Hill is actually one of the locations. I don't know. See, Leanne's got this bloody thing. She goes, let's go for a walk, right? And you actually get her on a walk, and she literally sits down and has a sulk. I tried to go, let's be adventurous, love. Let's enjoy the nature around here locally. Let's go up that Iron Age hill fort. And I was like, are we there yet? Constantly. Literally sat and stopped her legs and had to go on about for a bit with it there. So I'm not sure if Cradle Hill is too much of an incline for her. Geo there. So, psychist here. Our understanding of reality is entirely relative to us. Bang on. And we see the same things, but are coloured by our experiences. However, the understanding of other dimensions is a sci-fi. So you're quite right on that one. Like how Hollywood describes other dimensions isn't quite right. It normally displays them as sort of other little pocket universes, closer to like a multiverse. It's like a little bubble that appears. You can go into a different place. Dimensions aren't actually like that. Dimensions are the same space that we're in now, but different ways of interacting with them. So, at the minute we operate in 4 dimensions. 3 of them are spatial, so forward and backwards, left and right, up and down. They're the 3 dimensions. So I'm in the same room, but I can go up and down in that room. I can go left and right, and I can come forward and backwards in it. But hold on. I can go forward in time as well. There we go. That is the fourth. That's the temporal dimension. So again, how we understand the things are not quite right. But yeah, especially the subjectivity to what, because we think, as we all look at, and we agree on so much about what we observe in the world, don't we? Like we all could walk down my street, and we could all go, yeah, there's 4 houses, there's 2 red doors, 8 cars, and we'd probably all agree. We might disagree around, is that a good car or a bad car? Is that a tasteful colour for the door? Whatever it might be, we'll have the certain subjectivity around it, but it does feel like there's an objective world. So there is some sort of commonality that we're agreeing on there, but there is also like a much wider grey area. It's not all preference. There are certain things are objectively measured, but that doesn't necessarily mean that is the core base of the universe. A lot of this might be being rendered, might be negotiated individually. The entire solar system is a high-dimensional volcano erupting, and Mercury is the iron basin. Venus is the magma chamber, and Earth is the outside of the surface of the volcano. Oh, okay, the Moon is the ash cloud of Mars. So is this like in the sense that, is there more to it? Is this just like, is the overarching structure just a big volcano, or is there like a world around that? And why is it that we're seeing them as separate entities? Is that like that dimensional slicing? What Persian rugs to use? And the ideas being discussed are very metaphysical there, but are all grounded in physics and biology there. We change our bodies regularly, but we're unaware of it. Another brilliant point, is how all the cells in your body is every 5-7 years or something like that they replace, but yet there is a continuation, isn't there? Something that seems to transcend the individual, changes over a period of time. Is it the ship of Theseus? Something like that. It's a Greek story, basically, about a ship that by the time got to the end of the journey, they had replaced every plank. One by one, replace that plank, or replace that mast, or replace that plank there. So on and so on. And is the question around it is a bit of a thought experiment. Is that, well, is it still the same ship if you've replaced all of the parts there? Trigger's broom is the modern version of that, and we're technically like that too, but it does feel like there is a me. It does feel like I remember being young. It raises a lot of questions. It's not as clear cut, isn't it, there? And caterpillars are similar there. They just do it all in one go there, and we don't know if they're conscious throughout this or if they remember their life before the butterfly stage. It may be like being in a coma. So I've heard that they've tested, haven't they? Like they've taught and they've conditioned caterpillars certain responses, very simple ones, and that the butterfly remembered those responses. But I saw a headline the other day, and I didn't read it, but I need to, because it was along the lines of what we all say about this, that it's amazing because they transfer their memory. Apparently that's wrong. It's a misnomer or something like that. But I didn't watch it, I didn't read it, or whatever it was I saw at the time, so I don't know that for sure. But I was like, oh, I didn't know that, because I thought that was kind of well established, that they do go into like being a liquid soup, which have been is a lack of a consciousness. This is the coma there. Anyway, it did. Geez, aren't colourblind. That's a myth. Geez, what's geez? They have a dichromatic vision, meaning they see black and white and blues and yellows. Okay, I didn't know that was part of the interesting. I like that as well. And if you think of life as a double slit, you want to take the path that has less interference with your light. Okay. Another long one. Say if 5 words. You can say in 500. Geo, you're after my own heart there. Totally. And I like it. That is my language. I have never figured out how to say anything succinctly. People literally sigh at work when I approach them. Like my boss, there's a mode when I talk to him, and I know it, and I go, I'm not going to say this efficiently. I'm going around the houses, but I can't stop myself. And you can just see he kind of goes into a mode. It's just like sits up, pen cap on, and just waits for me to finish. So I feel you there. But look, it's I can't decide what bits of information in there aren't essential. Created it, and I have named it the Rose. So it's your one. Okay. So I was hoping I could Google around it there, but very poetic. I like it. Where's Nurse V and Janie gone there? Got frickly hate tonight. Can't stop scratching. The scratch is probably something else there. Alan's not washed the probe again. Slow flash by the red pixel at D3 and near the grid line. Ooh, where's my cursor? There it is. So around here. It's probably totally late now, but worth double checking. Let me see if I can spin the camera actually, guys. Think higher, think bigger. Even bigger than that. And beef there, Indianapolis. I didn't know you were from India. You probably did say, but that's actually, that is pretty cool. There. Why have I forgotten that? That would normally stick out for me. Places like that. I don't know if we've had anybody else from there. So that would normally stick out in my mind. Maybe it's the heat. I'll blame the heat there, beef. How you doing, Rio? You missed me struggling with clove oil and burning my mouth and then slightly drinking it. Red dots. Oh, yeah, spot on for those ones. Get some cool praise. That's an image there, X. I didn't need a... Oh, yeah, it's a security camera. Yeah, that was the one. Because that was... I swear I showed it. She worse memory than I have. But, yeah, I think, if I remember, she was very, very intrigued. Apparently there was a free wave attack on the moon base from the Dark Forces, in which 72% Space Force were wiped out there. 27th, 26th of July there. Rocket booster crash was a distraction for the ships around the moon. Well, that's exactly the sort of thing that they would do, wouldn't it, to distract from something like that? I've often wondered, because there are a few things in our UFO lore, events similar to that. And there was one like underground UFO base people talk about. Was it Dulce base? Something like that. a lot of Marines dying and things like this. And I think they're very hard to hide. You know, because those deaths are reported. They don't say that what they're for. They go, oh, it was a, you know, conflict in Afghanistan, don't they? Or they say, you know, plane crash or something like that. You know, I'm sure that because those families ultimately will need to know at some point. You know, there will be a delay. So seeing like a large group of people perish together, that should be like mappable, shouldn't it? You should be able to confirm something along those lines. Tis warm. Okay, it wasn't 6 minutes to midnight, unless we've gone back in time. I'm just dense. It's now 13 minutes to midnight. Maybe we're going backwards, guys. If you split your screen from top left to bottom right corner, the screen, you have two pyramids that make up the fabric of geometry. Pyramid, yeah, I'm following that. Can I ask you a question? Alan, 100%, ask away. A free flasher there. Long diagonal shape off the bottom right. Just trying to see if I can still catch these things. I have been looking when the squares are coming up, but I haven't noticed anything yet. Keep it up. I'm rested there. Came in halfway through the other pain chat there, so I might be a little out. But if you're struggling with the chronic pain there, which I have since someone drove their truck, oh my god, over your car, Jesus Christ there. Peptides have been a live chat. I've heard a little bit about peptides. I am interested. It's one of those ones that I go, I just don't know enough to know what I'm mucking around with. But I did hear a little bit of a rumour on that one, yeah. Definitely, okay, I'm going to look into that, Joe. I wonder, because it's like in the UK here, like all of the good stuff is blocked. Like melatonin, like in the US, you can get that over the counter. Over here, we can't. It's a real pain in the arse, you know, and that is something that would really be useful. If my doctor said, yeah, you should really try that, and they started telling me you can get it on Amazon, it's labelled for dogs or something. And I'm like, why don't you just write me a prescription? Oh, I'm not allowed to write that one. I'm like, what do you mean? You're telling me... There. Anyway, where do you believe the WOW signal came from in 1977? Alan, a really, really good question. So it was... what's the constellation? We used to point our dish to it, and in fact, it's probably actually this part of the sky now. It's probably aligning itself with. What was it? What was the constellation? Okay. Anyway, don't know. It's specific. So publicly, it is constellation, but there's no close by stars there. But that doesn't write it off. It just means it would have had to have been an incredibly large, powerful, signal to reach us here and to still be detectable. There. So I don't really know. All I know is it's a really, 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 really good signal. Now there are people, there are sort of theories of a more plausible, or I should say a more mainstream explanation for the WOW signal. The one I think that's leading the charge, again, it's no means like, you know, proved it at all, but the one that is favoured by the mainstream community is something to do with a star shooting off a ray into a cloud of something, and then that purpose conveniently bounces through a hydrogen cloud that's directly aimed at us, perfectly giving us the WOW signal. And I think it gets to a point, maybe that's possible, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but it gets to the point, doesn't it, that actually aliens become an easier answer if you've got to do a trick shot, like, you know, one of those fucking Paul Hustler trick shots to try and prove something like that. I find it a really interesting signal. Free Eye Atlas did come from the same patch of sky, didn't it? But so that, you know, they could have been, you know, come from something like that, a craft maybe. You never know. People also say that well, it was a few years before that. I think it was, if the WOW signal was 78, and before that we sent the Arecibo message in 74, so it's the only time us as a species have ever sent done a METI, their messaging of extraterrestrial intelligence, sending our own signal out. Yeah, it was or consciously high-powered radio signal saying, hey, we're humans, we're on the third planet from our star, blah blah blah. That was in 74. Some people said, oh, is that a reply? The issue with that is the signal we sent message was totally different part of the sky, so going another direction. And also with that 4-year gaps, that would have meant that, you know, the furthest it could have been was 2 light years away, so 2 light years for them to receive a signal and 2 light years to send it back. So that would have been the third, and there's no stars that close. In fact, 2 light years away, there's no planet systems at all. Our closest neighbouring star, Proxima Centauri, is about 4.2. So it's interesting. Have you got any thoughts on that one, Alan? And Mr. Humble there, Jesus Christ loves you, and he is the only way to heaven. Thank you for that as well, Mr. Humble. Welcome aboard. And Hi everybody on this planet Earth. It's nice to meet you there. George, good to have you in. Whereabouts on this planet Earth are you joining us from there? Joe, we're incredibly lucky to have reached the stage we do with regards to complex life. And we've avoided extinction level events, and thanks to having such a large moon there, most planets are bombarded by meteors. So we are, that is one way to look at it, isn't it? But I've got this gut feeling that we're looking at the evidence wrong. You know, I think, you know, complex life is, I think it's going to be like the rest of life. You know, like, I think it's just what it does if the situation's right. Now, I think out in there in the galaxy, the situation probably isn't right a lot of the time, but with the vast scale of it, I still think it's a good chunk of the sky. I think it is feasible that there is intelligence close enough to us to be reaching us by some form of technology there. Because they say, don't they, like Jupiter protects us from a lot of these sorts of things, but it is also got a history of luzzing things to us. So there's normally a plus and a minus with all this stuff. And so I go normally by Earth isn't special, but there are a few things that might mean that it is, and I do find it incredibly, like our moon, for example. But you could view that both ways. The moon being so useful for us and so useful for life could be a sign of luck, or it could be a sign of design of some form there, purposely put there for that purpose. You know, yeah. So the fact, again, we mentioned this earlier, that our planet seems to have a lot more organic materials, which is obviously essential. Essential for us than it should do at this position, but this position is the perfect position from our star to receive the heat and all that stuff there. In fact, our star, the sun itself, seems to be a bit odd. It's quite a complex star. It's made of a lot of more complex elements, which normally only happen in the inner part of a galaxy, because you need old stars to die to produce those heavier elements, and then new stars form with them. And our star is like that, but we're actually out in the suburbs. We're out on the arms of our galaxy. So we've got the best of both worlds. We've got the complex sun, but we're in the safer part of the galaxy because the inner bit is so densely packed. Supernovas are going off left, right, and centre, and it's actually quite dangerous. You know, life probably doesn't have enough time to form around those. So maybe there are these little perfect lines. They definitely can make an argument, but I think I need a hell of a lot of evidence before I think we are special there. And we have earthquakes, volcanoes, plus a life destroying other life there. Evolution tends not to allow a creature to dominate like we have, and it seems our nature with a man-made extinction is constantly on the horizon. So this is where I would agree that, you know, look, we are different to nature. So, but for me, one of two things are going to be true, and one of them is that either our development isn't natural, you know, and somebody's meddled in between there, and that's why there is a quite drastic difference between us and other species, or it is natural. There's been no manipulation, and then if that is the case, we are nature, you know. You know, we do have a heavy dominance, but there does seem to be a bit of a difference, doesn't it, with us? I don't want a God to love. I want a life, and I don't want a kingdom. I want a home. And I don't want to worship, I want to create. I mean, I quite like those there. And Hawkeye, hi, I once saw a UFO appear next to a star, Aldebaran, at 4:15 in the morning, and it appeared round and bright, and then shot off, then appeared 3 minutes later, same place, then shot right off there. Hawkeye, brilliant, and a very, very classic sighting. And it is that movement, that behaviour there, that kind of rules out the normal, the explainable there. And people will love to write those things off as shooting stars, satellites, modern era drones. But the problem is you can really easily filter that stuff out. And I think it was the Australian Department of Defence, whatever they're called. They were looking into basically what do the Americans know around all this stuff. Hello, darling. You okay? You're gonna massage my jowls with this?
It's 29 degrees in our bedroom.
Yeah, and it's going to be about 32 in here. Trying to brush away the pain, guys. Okay, on that side. So they were looking into what do the Americans know. And one of the conclusions from it, is it harder? Yeah. One of the conclusions was that actually, because you would think, wouldn't you? No, it wasn't the Australians. It was the Robertson panel or the Condon report. So it's a declassified report from the US government itself in the 50s. And they were basically saying, look, you'd think, wouldn't you, the more evidence and the more bits of data around any particular sighting, thank you, this is very good, keep going, any particular sighting, you'd think it'd be easier to write off. You go, oh, we can now prove it's a flare because we could measure their distance or size, etc. But it turns out, actually, the more data they had for a sighting, the harder it was to actually get a confirmation of what it is. Just had a weather alert. Possible thunderstorm from midnight tonight to 1 a.m. there. Ooh, believe it when I see it. That would be like, I'd love to stand out in the cold rain for that one there. And Trevi, any sightings tonight? No, we had some cracking ones yesterday, but I haven't seen anything tonight there. Oh, my garden is a dust bowl now. Garden's a dust bowl there. And what are you doing for the next deep dive there? I'm always managed to miss them. Oh, pancakes. So we're going to be doing, I think, for the next few, we're going to be looking at the Majestic 12 documents. I need to add it to the system. It's why it keeps coming up as coming soon, look right there. And it's basically, we've got a great database now of the Majestic 12 documents. So Majestic 12, if you guys don't know, it is the group that is rumoured to exist there that handled just after the Second World War, Roswell time, basically the secrecy around the craft, the potential reverse engineering. That's really helped. Even just that little bit, it's fully gone. Anyway, they were reportedly to the security around the table in the shadows guys that were managing that. And over the years, there has been various documents that have been leaked that reportedly relate to them. Sometimes outright saying this is a Majestic 12 document. Sometimes it's referring to things. So that we found a great website that has categorized them by sort of decade and saying, look, these are all the documents that are related either directly or adjacent. Not all of them are going to be real, but it's really interesting. So we've been reading through those. And again, it's like doing a UFO homework. You hear about this stuff mentioned all the time, but when you read it yourself, it's really interesting. So yeah, the first one is up. It'll be the latest one. You can watch and get that one again, but it won't be this. It'll be this coming Friday, because obviously it's Friday today, so a week's time. So we'll be doing that. So you want to catch up on the first one, but yeah, we've got a long way to go. We're still in the 40s, guys. We're still in the early stages.
Is there a difference?
I think so, but it's hard to tell. It's boiling the frog. It does seem it. She's got
That's the side I did. That's the side I didn't do.
Doesn't look as much on camera, but in real life it does there.
I think it looks more on camera. I can definitely see more shape to that side.
So if you want to join us for one of those deep dive guys, if you one of the guys who are lucky enough to receive a gifted membership, then you will be able to join us there. And if you haven't yet, the link in bio gives you a month free on the Patreon there, so you'll be able to check out all those and join us for at least 2 whilst you're trying that one out. But yeah, when we're not doing that, we're doing the emergency deep dives, which is when the US drop more UFO files, and then we all read through them in real time with you guys there. So you fell asleep there, Rib. You're allowed. And rain harvest is the answer for plants. Rain harvest? So the problem is that we only agree due to an agreement in language. And so I'm colorblind, so I will see a brown car. But everyone else sees red. I've had that. I had that thought. I've had the same discussion with Leanne. And yeah, like exactly. We agree in language. And I'm definitely a fan that could be like such a big catch-all, because how do you teach somebody something? You go, right, this is red, so is my red the same as your red? And if there's a subtle differences there. So somebody did say, I did watch something a while ago, it's a bit above my head, it was a sciencey thing, and they were saying that there is another way that they test, but again, you don't know actually how good they are. Somebody always comes out with a theory later on, but you could do this sort of thing. You could, I mean, to a certain degree, you could say Alan's got four antennae there, can't you? And go, well, 1, 2, 1, 2, that's 4. We train people to say this is this. So if they're, there is a certain amount of subjectivity that's very difficult to plan for in that, and we do it all the time actually with language itself. It's a great highlight of this. It's like if I say to you, what's love? We're all going to have a slightly different definition. I think of it as a shoebox. We're filled with little sentences of explanation, filled with experiences and emotion there, and everyone's is slightly different. We agree enough that we can have a conversation around it. But if you've ever been in therapy, guys, you'll know that you need to work out explicitly what you guys mean. Thank you, darling. With those things, there's a lot of ways in between that one. Thank you, Alan, for the awesome message there. Oh, did you? Dogs are supposed. That makes more sense. Yes. Hello. Yeah. Sorry.
Should I sleep in the spare room tonight? Because it's so hot.
It is very hot tonight, and I'm going to be making you do my jowls. So, yeah, you probably might want to sleep there. We have high-dimensional cliff walls around our volcano base and crater. There, we aren't even looking out. Volcanoes are either sealed, cracked, and leaking, or open and flowing from an eruption. Why is it that we're in a volcano, like, out of all of it? Like, what about the other parts of, that we would see here as well? Do we have versions of those? Oh, it's the first time you mentioned it. Ah, it's not the heat, my friend. It's just, well, it's probably just my bad, awful brain. But it is the first time you mentioned it. But excellent. What is it like? Because I've seen a couple of films where that is featured, and I've got this. There's a few places in the US that I just have such a romantic idealization of those places. I think how you Americans think of like Paris, you know, is this idea that are there any shooting stars expected tonight? We're definitely on the way out now. I don't think we've seen, maybe you guys have seen one or two tonight, so we're definitely on the way out, but it's still a chance. Is it Dolce? Is that how you pronounce it? Gary McKinnon hacked NASA and got the Spaceport pilot list. He did. And I don't know how I feel about that. Part of me is like, surely it wouldn't just be on a spreadsheet. But then, knowing organisations like that, 100% it would just be on a shitty spreadsheet. Like that. No, thank you, Karen, there. Supernova is an eruption, and a black hole merger is a high dimensional plate tectonics. Like, I'm definitely open to, like, you know, what we're perceiving not being the full picture around that, but I'm not quite seeing that picture you're painting with it yet. I'm halfway. And Phil Schneider, who revealed the info about the El Dolce incident, I totally got that pronunciation wrong there, died mysteriously some days after that revelation. Interesting. Oh, because, yeah, Mars, this is what I was talking about, wasn't it? Surely, you know, if there are these larger events, you should be able to find that, you know, there was a helicopter crash in Iraq and we lost 12 soldiers, you know, there'll be some alignment like that there. Hopefully, Karen, we'll see some. We did, even yesterday, though, it was on the wind down. We saw more yesterday than we did actually on the peak there. Yeah, another video of shorts, insane there, Prince. I would love to see that one now. But re-uploaded the video because it was fresher on my mind then. I say in particular, we can't point the camera that way, sadly, there. I didn't really describe how it got there or where it went. You'll have to link us to it so we can check it out. And is there a best time to see them? So the best time is normally midnight, I think, until 5. Somebody said about 3 a.m. UK time. But I imagine that'd be for wherever you are in the world. As the Earth rotates, you're going into that part. But yeah, so if you are going to catch it, it's probably going to be from now sort of onwards. It's a telescope you're using or a website. So Mark, it's a digital camera, so it's like a Sony camera with a very good lens, but it's ours. It's just about 10 meters in front of us in the garden. We can normally spin it around. Should we see if it wants to work now? Come on. Yeah, the little motor that we've got to move it is temperamental, to say a better word. But this is another thing, guys. As luck would have it, we've actually managed to get the beast pan and tilt motor as well. That'll be here soon, so we can actually reliably, as long as it works, reliably pan it around more. But we're going to get more, not quite a full 360, but we're going to have a much higher range of positions. And also, if you've been waiting patiently for a moon watch, this one is definitely much more capable with the weight of the moon lens, so it should be much easier for us to do those sorts of things there. Oh, I messaged you on our Discord there if you're like, yeah, 100% now. Chronic pain. Oh, 2016, wow. Strong painkillers, less effective. Well, I've been very careful about what I use. And Gio, I actually would really, really appreciate that one. Yeah, so it's, for me, the pain is normally not so bad. It's the fatigue is the worst one for me. But it's as far as I understand it, they all kind of come from the same place. Yeah, it's just the exhaustion around it there. Mantis as well, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. I'll catch you later, Lethal, and to share. And you guys, where are we there? Elliot as well. Why do scientists discover potential life, then immediately shut it down? Elliot, really, really good question. And I think the answer isn't in the science. I think the answer is in psychology. So, and they've outright said this a few times, actually, that basically they don't want to deal with the questions. And to be fair, if a science, Cambridge University announces that we're really confident, guys, we've got life on this star over there, they would be hounded by the press, by people like us, going, is the life dangerous? Are they going to come to invade us? How many fingers have they got? What do they look like? And the best, they're not going to know any of that. They're just going to be able to go, we've just had a detection that we know is technological and it's not from Earth. So we know there's life out there, we know no more. And they don't want to deal with the aggro. But another part of this is that the equipment that we've got, science is amazing. The tools that we have now is phenomenal. But they're not actually that good in the scheme of things. It's still a very high bar out there. We have barely got the technology to be able to even notice certain things, let alone confirm it. The difficulty is, over these vast distances, we're dealing with very low bits of information, and it's hard to get the detail we need to confirm things. So that's why they don't want to come out right and say it, because they can't say it 100%. And to be fair, that's the scientific position for these stuff. But we're getting all of these interesting signals, and we haven't got the data to confirm it. The answer for that is to leave them as interesting and not to write them off, which is science goes, oh, there's nothing to it there, which is a bit disingenuous. So I think a lot of the, the personality comes into it there, the flawedness of a human there. Well, I don't want to be hounded. I don't want to be, people telling me I'm wrong and all of that sort of stuff. It's the personal bias, I think, as well, comes into play there. I don't know what Discord is. Oh, there it is. And I have to keep moving away from my laptop as I can't sit for long. So spinning, yeah, that's another one I've got there. I go numb. But Discord, so it's like a messaging app, right? But it's across an old school forum/chat room. So you join our Discord server, and there's like various different channels, so like little chat rooms basically, and it's like a message feed, kind of like the chat on here. Would you put in a message, you put in your experience there, you go, oh, I've seen this podcast, you drop it in, you might chat a few replies and then go check out another one, and so it's like that. It took me a while to get used to it there. The experience field is a real scalar quantum field. That's too much equations for me. The problem with all the equations is that lay people will need to know what they actually are, what all of the symbols are representing within it. Otherwise, it won't make any sense. Oh, one right on the line there. Oh, replace time with... Yeah, see, I still need to know the details. I created it. See, that's the problem with the math there, Daniel. Other people need to know. It's like creating your own language. We don't know what we don't know how to share it there. And Miss Gypsy, how are we tonight? They're lovely. Thank you. Happy with. It's all retrofits and simplified to what already used in GR, general relativity, standard relativity, special relativity, quantum mechanics, and even religion. I actually do think there is an overlap with those things. I think there is a unifying structure. I wouldn't necessarily think it would be maths, but any recommendations for alien movies? As soon as you say that, Lucy, every movie I've ever watched has immediately left my head. But we do our Alien Movie Club monthly over on the Discord. So if you join there, we vote. You can suggest the movies. We vote on them and then we watch them once a month. So we have to watch them on our own TVs with, if they're on Netflix or whatever it is. But we press play at the same time and we chat along in the Discord. So that's a good way to, again, do our homework with all the classic Alien movies. What are some of the ones that we've done, guys? Oh, an amino acid only combined in 1 out of 147 million ways. So even microbial life should be unlikely, but undoubtedly microbial life out there. And the numbers are in their favour. So this is the thing, you look at the statistical odds for all of the, complex life and stuff like that. I think we're looking at it the wrong way. I don't think we're basing it from the limited knowledge that we have looking out there. Whereas I think we should base it on just look at how life spreads, Oh yeah, I've not looked into any of the majestic stuff yet either. So I'm excited for this one, and we've got a few. We've got all of the decades to go through there. Oh, Living Like Arrival. Arrival is brilliant. The recent one there. Even The Arrival with Charlie Sheen. That's a good one. That Agent X there suggested to us a while back. That was a good one. But no, The Arrival is really, really good. I don't even think we've had that on the movie club yet, so we're gonna have to add that one too. Divided and taught as individual subjects. Oh, okay, yeah. Then. Oh, it contains GSK, TB. Oh, God, I don't even know what they are. I was in such a bad place years, but it has been life-changing. So I have heard, I've heard of the horrors of the pain and stuff like that, but no, I've heard a little bit on the peptides and stuff, and it was something that got my attention, but I was like, I don't feel qualified for it there. How you doing, Rich? Good to see you there. And what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Expect so many more there, but I'm not done yet. We might need a little course, I think there. How you doing, Joseph, as well? Good to see you there. Some love therapy. It's the oldest trade. Red Flash. Oh, Amanda, good spot in there. And B3, so obviously not going to be there now, but that is around here. So I'm trying to think, because normally we get some errors that are, they're just off. They're this sort of area here. But it's not normally a flash, maybe a twinkle. We trace time and create knots. So we had denture special, and now we're on Tinder special. It's a great chat today. Healing each other and inventing new maths. Exactly. Look, it's good. It's good to chill these things over. So, like, it's like what Daniel's talking about there. Like, I don't know enough around. I mean, very interested, very, very interested. But I don't know enough. The limitation of my ignorance there. But even if I pick up 5% of what that I can understand, that's 5% we didn't have before. So it's always good to hear these things. I'll catch you later there, Lethal. Time is less than one whole dimension. Oh, interesting. I mean, I've been exploring the possibility of the time that is more. Also recommend Mach C, which is close between them, and repair a lot of damage. When you start looking at the molecular level, so I've not looked from that side of things there as well, but personally in my journey with POTS and sort of chronic fatigue and stuff like that, you start to learn about how the body does release certain things to do this job and stuff like that. And you know, okay, so right, it's not doing this, and all right, it needs to do that. Interesting, you know, you start to go, and that causes that, and that causes that, and that causes that, and this is getting in the way. It is quite interesting how it all works. Can you guys keep an eye out for one of these little messages that pop up here, like there on the TikTok, or down there where it says Movie Club right now on the tubes? I'm looking to see if a new feature is going to work, which is it should tell you how far behind we are on the chat if it's more than 5 minutes. So it should tell you how long until we get to your messages, and it looks like it's working. But I can't see it coming up for you guys, but it will be on rotation, so it won't be on that often, so you'll have to have a look from when it comes up. So yeah, just let me know if you do spot it, if I miss it there. Got a lot there. Got a lot there. 7 vertebrae between my 2 fracture sites. Oh my god, I crumple in there. Miracle up, that doesn't exist, required. Oh, was that a shooting star? Or was that one of the very green lines down there? Oh, the back, yeah, the back stuff is... yeah. That's an interesting one. That one is difficult, very, very difficult there. And living light, feeding Alan.
Nom, nom, nom.
Thank you for that,
guys.
We start. It's really weird. I usually start the evening, and it's morning now. It is. Lachlan, how are you doing? Arrival looks promising there. I'll catch you later, Lucy. Arrival is good. It is very good. Time is a cycle, and the beginning and is the end. And the end is the beginning. We probably start with a similar stories to AI. It's probably not our friend. Well, I could definitely see some of those there. And Pow, may I ask how space and UFOs don't absolutely terrify you? Is there mean to panic? Pow, like, honestly, that's not an unreasonable position to be in there. Like, it does both for me. I am the cat in Curiosity Killed the Cat. I ain't going to go out quietly in a care home, I can tell you that now. I'm just too curious. Like, I will sign myself up for things. So, it does. It both terrifies me and amazes me as well. So I can get that as a relationship. I mean, the thing to remember as well is that if there's good, there is bad. If there's bad, there is good. You know, these things are always a bit of both. So with all of the terrifying parts, there are also equally the good potential too. You know, a lot of people do talk about benevolent space brothers, people, you know, giving us advice, maybe stopping us from nuking ourselves. So maybe there's a good side to it, as well as people do report a bad one. But I think if I did see like a physical craft directly in front of me, you know, like at night when we're on a location or something, and I'm out there in the dark, well, I already get pretty spooked already, and you guys enjoy watching a nearly 40-year-old man get scared by cows and carrier bags. But yeah, so I can relate, pal. Well, not morning, new day. Just managed to get on there. It's been a busy one, but good busy, I hope, Loch Lomond. Primary progressive MS. Oh my god, things are getting quite difficult. Let's go. Dave, wow. Yeah, that's MS is really wow. Sorry to hear that one. Johnny, you've seen the UFOs? Not tonight. We had some good sightings last night, didn't we? Some really good, interesting ones. But tonight, been a bit slim. But hey, you know, last night was quite good. But the show's not over yet. There is still plenty of time. So right, it'll be a first time, Matt. Right, Jeremy Rayner was good as well. And I didn't know Jeremy Rayner was in one there. I need to have to check that one out as well. Lethal's still there. Oh, I thought I saw a message ages ago. No worries. Ignore me, Lethal. Still looking for those messages. I'll take a break for a second. No worries, Daniel. We do want to hear them. And oh, my membership just got stopped. Oh, what for? Did it have an issue? Sometimes, if it's on the Patreon, it doesn't auto roll over a lot of the time. It just puts you in a free tier. Are humans made of stardust? As far as we know, living light, yeah, we are all made of stardust there. We are the universe experiencing itself there. About volcano-wise, oh, I renamed them seeded time and angular rotation. Not seen the chat times. Thank you for the heads up there. Yeah, I haven't seen it come up yet either. I've noticed we've got a couple of meteors on the track, on the marker as well, the shooting stars. Is that actual ones that people have stamped? And have we seen the pop-up for those? Because I haven't seen the pop-up, but then I was down a while ago. And there's Riley too there. Can you still see the meteors tonight? It's possible, but it's going to be a lot less. But it's now sort of time that we'd expect to see it there. And Lax, I've had close encounters with the herd kind. Lax, brilliant. Herd kind. Why did nobody think of that? Guys, you let us down. On our last on location Skywatch, we were, you know, again on top of an Iron Age hill fort, which we didn't realise also cattle grazed there. And well, actually they chased us off earlier on, so we should have clocked. But just coming up to midnight, we know, because we had a big laptop to do the stream, you know, and have all the cameras set up, and night vision, you know, your eyes haven't adjusted, you've got the bright screen, so you don't really see much in your immediate peripheral. You know, lights on the horizon is the best sort of thing, and a few stars. And also, I kind of heard a rustling out the corner of my eye, and there's nothing up there. It's flat grass, so you know when you're hearing things like that, that's something's close. So we sort of just looked around to the rustling, and then like my brain couldn't process it was coming this fast. It was like 15 to 30 of these white face-shaped objects, but they kind of like pointed, and they were just rushing us so much, but also sort of like this chest height as well. So as they're running towards us, my brain's trying to go, is this a threat? What's going on? We're going for it. Is it the local kids? No, it's too small there. What could it be? You know, like aliens? No, I don't know why I didn't learn for aliens, but my brain went, it saw the triangle bit and went, gnomes, it's their beard, gnomes, you're being attacked by gnomes. And just as they got close enough, it was no, it was a herd of cows that were really interested in the Skywatch. So close encounters with the herd kind was brilliant. Time seeds, and you have your sources. I'd really love to see the entire history of Earth and humanity in a film. Yeah, like an accurate one, like, you know, if E.T. had got it. And who was it that was saying there was some reason why they thought that would be a great way to make contact? And maybe, you know, if a species has been monitoring us, has had probes in orbit or something like that, you know, maybe they have been watching, maybe they have got the dinosaurs on film and all that sort of stuff. Maybe that's how they'd introduce themselves. How cool would that be? You've not met, so it might be somebody else. Thank you, Lethal, though. Gold can only be created by a type 1A supernova. I didn't know that. That is really interesting. Oh, are we up on the chat there? I think I've missed a couple. No, haven't missed those ones. No, we are up to date there. But Lethal coming in with the gifts as well. Appreciate all of that. Adam too. Nearly missed you guys. Sorry for those. X as well. Janie and Lee. Alan didn't say thank you, Lee.
Thanks, guys.
As well. Thank you for those guys. Sorry for that. Been slacking tonight. Still trying to get used to this combined chat. It'll be better. We'll get there. I'm trying to work on the tracker, but it's not having fun tonight. I think a lot of it, though, is just the heat. I take it it's hot here for me, but I think just because the computers aren't crashing, they are having certain processing issues. It's the flashing's been better tonight, I think, hasn't it? You know, with the bars coming up right on the screen. I think that we've had a couple, but nowhere near as many as normal, because I've got the side off the case of the computer with a fan directly on it. So a UFO in Egypt, and it was a what the fuck. But it would be a town. Like I go, yeah, I want to see that. And in our head, so we're doing a UK UFO hotspot tour. Here's our tour T-shirt. If you want to support us, get in there closer. Look, UK with all the UFOs and cryptids there, and then the locations on the back. But yeah, so we're doing it. And look, some of the places we've got here, right? Loch Ness, Decmont Law, Falkirk Triangle. They sound cool, right? But then you've got Pendle Hill. Right, creepy as. We're at Cannock Chase there, Rendlesham Forest, Bodmin Moor. It's not just the UFOs in some of those ones, it's also the weird cryptid stuff. But so I'm going, right, I want to have these experiences. This is what we're doing. This is the job. We're going to go out and try and get the evidence as much as we can. I think this would be a great way of doing it. But, you know, if I'm sitting there, standing there, you know, on camera, doing our live UFO hotspot there, and, you know, we're at Rendlesham Forest, and we actually do get the the mothership land there, the lights come down. I ain't thought that far ahead, lads. I ain't thought that far ahead. I don't know. I don't think I'd react positively to it if that's what we're meant to be doing. There, What sort of craft house? Tell us a bit more. Like, what did it look like? I wanted that. Egypt, what a place to have that experience as well there. And Spinning, where did the clouds come from? I looked away. That is literally what I thought. I think there is noticeable because they're kind of more patchy, whereas look at it fades in. So, see how it goes there. Stop eating animals and promote the bees. To what level? Manager? Senior manager? Area manager? But joking. Yeah. If anyone says there's a bee shortage, they've not checked my garden. I found them. But no, you are right there with some of those things on that. And three orbs, I thought, three orbs, I thought it was an aeroplane, and then two of them split up and flew opposite directions. And I was like, what the hell is that? It's not an aeroplane. That's you alien, I think. So it could well be that behaviour is very, very, depending on the altitude, goes from very hard for technology, for human technology to do, to impossible. So it all depends on that and certain specifics, but very, very anomalous. But it's been seen throughout the years. I thought, when I was first interested in the old phenomena, this was all little green men, metal spaceships coming from Zeta Reticuli, crashing in the desert and all that sort of stuff. But it turns out, no, people have been seeing this stuff for millennia, maybe the whole time, exactly as you're describing it there. Were there any colours to it there? Was it white and orange, blue? Or was this daytime? Maybe there's a dark side in there. Aerial manager. Okay, you're on form tonight. And what we... Close Encounters of the Herd Kind and aerial manager. Boom, boom. I don't think we're going to get better than that, are we, guys? Well done, chaps. Well done for those. That's tickled me. And we look like the hypocrites if people started eating on Earth after all this time and we felt offended and terrified. Daniel, you're right about that. I often think that when we go, my God, these ETs and, the abductions and, or we watch a War of the Worlds film where they're harvesting us, to eat us or whatever it is. And we go, well, look at how we treat all the animals here. There's a definite hypocrisy to that. I totally agree with that. Oh, your wife should work at Porton Down. So that is Porton Down is the biological weapons research labs, isn't it? Oh, is it Porton? I always get confused between Porton Down and the other one. There's an airfield nearby, isn't it? I think that's the research center. It said she went below the levels and the toilets were absolutely massive. Sure, lizard men. Do you think it's real? And she swears there are aliens. So there's a lot of things that oh, that was a shooting star. Very light one, just right there. There's a lot of things that I just don't know. Like, there's a lot of things out there that you hear here and there, but I haven't heard like a lot of evidence, or it's all the same sort of type, and you kind of need a few different types of evidence to kind of get some confidence towards stuff. But I won't write anything off, because the more we do look into these things, the more you do find that there's, and it might not be the full account is true, but so it's normally, I find with conspiracy theories, the observation normally is true, but the interpretation of what that means and how it works is normally a little bit all over the shop, because we're trying to piece these puzzles together, aren't we, with limited information. So I wouldn't write it off. But the lizard stuff, I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of the same. I haven't done a proper deep dive on it yet, but I wouldn't write it off. I wouldn't write it off for those things. With that, so you never know. I think there was something like that working at certain levels. I feel like there would be more clues, because like when you look at the UFO crashes and the retrieval programs, or the greys, there's a whole lot of information. It's not just the same sightings or the same types of sighting, lots of people giving the same abduction experience. It's various things from the people that claim to have worked on the genetics of them. It is people that have reported to be the security guards on the gate as crashed craft were brought in, people on the scene, military, firefighters, also, there are just so many different things here that it also fits with what we know of certain activities going on at certain locations. We can now prove certain places exist. There's so much adjacent evidence as well for a lot of those classic areas that I've got a lot more confidence in those. When it's the lizard stuff, it's more I'm hearing people saying, oh, I've seen a lizard like that, and it's interesting, but for me it's not enough to kind of go to the next step with it yet. But I wouldn't write it off. I wouldn't write, just because it said in absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. That's a little bit clearer at the time. Very interesting. Just open my eyes from nodding off there, Kate. Just to come off, just like
Coming in with a one-liner there. We're already one now, we think, an experience in fractals. So Daniel could well be, and actually there are a lot of just the mainstream scientists talking along those lines at the minute. Thoughts and ideas are fractalized from one. I need to think on that, but I like the sound of it. Time and experiences are fractal experiences. Well, time... You're getting the brain going. I'll get that. And turns out, how do you no, you're not half alien? Well, this is the thing, Towns. You don't. Well, I don't know. But it could well be. There are lots of talking of, you know, sort of hybridization programs, interference with the things. I mean, we go back to stories like the Anunnaki, and you know, there's various different cultures talk about similar things. Maybe some higher level beings have come in and you know, manipulated us. This is why we're so intelligent versus rest of the planet, you know, species and things like that. But they're also the same stories. They talk about those beings having relationships with us there, you know, and making children. So therefore there has to be enough of an overlap genetically, and that's quite a lot of overlap there has to be for that to work. So you know, it does make you wonder. It does make you wonder the possibilities around those sorts of things. So I wouldn't know about myself. Maybe we're all the aliens, but maybe, well, you've got the version we just mentioned there, or the fact that we all probably, you know, life itself probably didn't start here on Earth, and in that sense there. Or maybe we more in a more complex form made it over here. Definitely an alien in this world. There's different versions of it. And Rock as well. I think you need to make sure that you go with people who are not afraid, as you got spooked by a herd of cows. To be fair, though, Rock, to be fair, the guy who normally isn't scared of those things, he got spooked by the cows as well. And 30 cows rushing at you. How many people die a year of cows rushing at you? Yeah. There's more threat than the plastic bag that terrified me the other time. Mind this feels like, but maybe consciousness itself could be something like that. Who was it that was saying that basically, like, again, not saying this is any way true, you just treat it as a good story or an interesting theory, something like that there. But where are we? But yeah, treat it as an interesting theory. Amanda, oh, you've joined over as a Skywatcher on the members. Thank you very much for your support. It's very, very kind of you there, and greatly appreciated. You'll be able to join us for our deep dive for the Majestic 12 documents. Check out some of the past ones if you haven't caught them already there. Yeah, hold on, my tooth just giving me a bit of a kick in there. But yeah, it was consciousness. It might have even been a science fiction story or a theory, but it was that, you know, our consciousness itself is alien, and it's infected. You know, we're parasites. We think we're the human. You know, that we think we're the being, but really, our consciousness has infected this mammal host, and we've just been here for so long that we haven't realised it. And I went, I've never heard that one before. I like that one. So that was an interesting one. Do they call junk DNA is our alien heritage? Well, they're finding more and more and more about it. I mean, I love how they come out and they go, right, we've just discovered, you know, DNA, right, and we think all of this is useless. And you go, you're all right, lads, yeah. And how long have you been studying this? Oh, yeah, a couple of years. All right, great, guys, yeah. And now, the more they look, the more value they're finding. Oh, this bit isn't junk. Well, I'm surprised there, aren't you? There's video evidence, and it is, yeah, it's publicly available. But like, I have no sense of self-respect left, you know, embarrassing myself to all of you guys there. Everything evolves to its habitat. It very much does. Dinosaurs are in the Bible. Yeah, I've heard that one. I don't know myself, though. And the Nephilim bred with humans, which is why God flooded the earth there. The Anunnaki alien connections is widely disputed. It very much is widely disputed. I think most of the Anunnaki stuff came from Sitchin, and he was saying that it was his reading, wasn't it, of the cuneiform tablets. And now other people are able to read cuneiform. They strongly disagree with what he said was in those tablets, but again, you know, interpretation and stuff around that there. But the Nephilim, I mean, that story, there are similarities for me to that one there. But even if they did breed the humans, Nephilim bred with the humans, the fact that there's enough of an overlap for that to work, you know, because it's, if you know, horses. And is it horses and zebras? If they breed, you get a Z-donk, don't you? So they're enough of an overlap to breed, but the Z-donk is infertile. And there's a lot of similar ones like that, and they're very close genetic matches. So it's not as easy, is it? If you were a god, would you be mad sin that was created from slaughtering and eating other life, or disobedience and wanting life and love and creation purpose? I think we're applying our own human moral judgment on these things with that, because, and maybe that applies to us because of, you know, maybe we are more conscious or more intelligent, and there's more of a responsibility that goes with that, but we don't apply the same thing to nature, do we? We don't moralize lions for eating gazelles, and we don't moralize for wasps, do we, for paralyzing, I don't know, maggots or a caterpillar, paralysing them, injecting them with their eggs, their larvae, that then eat the caterpillar alive. That's why they paralyse it, so it's stable, and then feed off of that. You know, that to me sounds pretty goddamn malicious and malevolent. But we don't moralise those ones. So think about, and sin as well. I think it's an incorrect translation on sin. That we get in modern times, but I think there's a really good argument around it, and it makes a lot more sense. I've been pondering the universe for 37 years, and again, how long will it take to really get anything like it? I think, like, we can all have some very interesting theories. Maybe we can make a few little breakthroughs here and there, but the chances that, you know, we're even going to be able to comprehend the full wonders of what is going on is probably very low there. And there are footprints and shoe prints found alongside dinosaur tracks, which historians are having a hard time explaining. It's whoa, that was a good shooting star. Oh, did you guys get to see that fully? Oh no, TikTokers, you didn't get to see that one. It was behind my bonds. Oh dear. Well, that's a good excuse to make sure you're on the tubes. Better experience. It looks like this. It's round the right way. Less of my face, more of the night sky. That thing UFO. Definitely worth checking out. They're lethal as well. Coming in with the gifts. Thank you, sir. But yeah, there are a few of these things. And again, the reason that they go, oh, it can't be human, of a lot of it, and it's not just the footprints there, but there are other places where these footprints are dated back to, like, I don't know, a million years. Oh, shooting star worked at that time. That they go, well, it can't be human footprints. Or when they pick up fossilized bones there from a very, very long time ago. Oh, it can't be humans. Why can't it be humans? Well, we've got no evidence that humans were around that long. And you go, this could be that evidence, you twats. This could be that. Oh no, somebody else hasn't told us that that's possible yet. So that definitely, our interpretation of history, there was fossilized. Look, the minute and by default, I think it's safest to go with the mainstream, because you know that, like, in the absence of you knowing specifically yourself, then default to the mainstream, because you'll tell if everybody starts dying from following that advice, then there's your warning. But when those question marks pop up, like those things you're just pointing out there, that is your little indicator to go, maybe I'll look a bit more. Maybe I read the details. Maybe let's check what other people have thought there with it. And it's blown geologists' mind, because there's a cliff somewhere. I think it's on the Yorkshire coast or some Midlands coast. Very industrialised cliff. They just pour, you know, coal and all sorts of waste slag out over the cliffs into the sea for years and years and years. Big environmental issue. The factories have gone now, but the waste there has gone into rock, been made, the soil and the waste has been made into rock far quicker than we thought that process could happen. But, you know, you can now chisel out old pennies and things like that, so we can date it from within the rock. So that process that we do measure certain time things from is not correct. You know, there's some play around that, because we're seeing it in real time. So what else is there more play around there? And Buffy, they say there's evidence of unknown species of humans that existed alongside Neanderthals and humans. Definitely, there's probably a lot more. The geologic record is going to be a fraction of what is available, what is really out there. You know, because not everything gets preserved. And then do we find all of the ones that are preserved? You know, there are going to be lots of gaps in it. There could be some very weird and very interesting, ones around there. And towns, yes, it's nicotine. Nicotine's actually a neurotropic. It's actually really good for your brain. It's just the other stuff, isn't it, there, that gets in the way. But yeah, exactly. You got to remember that whoever it is, from whatever official position they're in, right? They have to give us a simplified version, right? They have to, because they haven't got all day to explain all the details around these things. So they give us a simplified, same way that you tell kids shit, right? You go, don't lie, lying's bad, you know? And why do you tell them that? Because actually, as an adult, it's much more complicated than that. There's always a circumstance where actually maybe that's the preferable option. It's a very complicated answer, essentially. But if you maintain that, well, lying is bad throughout your life, you become an adult, you don't uptake that simplified version, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to find out pretty quickly that actually the world is a little bit more nuanced than that. And we all know somebody that's quite black and white with their thinking, and that's the problem. They've not updated that model. But the authority figures still treat us like that across the board for everything. A lot of the time, you open the things up, and you go look at some paperwork, and they are actually talking about a lot of the possibilities around this stuff, but they'll never tell us because they don't think we will understand, or we can handle that information. Like with the tobacco thing there, they'll go, yeah, but that'll just encourage more people to smoke also. And you go, well, maybe they should. Maybe you've got that one around the wrong way with those sorts of things. It's there. I'm a big one for those. And DJ then coming in for extra good. Thank you. Appreciated there. We are the image of God, and God didn't eat us. Well, no, God didn't eat us there, but plenty of lions have, which are they not the image there? But it's where are we down there? Wow, a long green town living like you. But it was a good one there. As it's situation, citation, not a situation. Sorry. It took me a long time to read it, so I probably would have there. And Paul, I've done a video on my YouTube channel on the Anunnaki and Nephilim there, and explains where they came from, the difference. Oh, brilliant, Paul! Bang on, guys, check that one out. I popped on your channel earlier today actually, and there was a couple of interesting titles. Oh, look at that shooting star right there! Everyone caught the tail end of that. There we go. We're getting a few now, guys. I will check that one out, Paul. Thank you. That is a good shout, and it is very, very, very relevant to what we're doing today, or what we do here generally. Anunnaki figures have been discovered in Tula, Haidaglu, and Mexico, alongside Egyptian deities such as Anubis around the world. I didn't know that, but it's interesting there. And Willow, it's okay there. Your bonce is very shiny and green. Bouncing it right off there. It's like a crystal ball. The truth is in there. God committed genocide, and genocide is typically frowned upon. Not if you're God. He also committed morals. Yeah, just wipe them off. But this is the thing, like whatever, if you want to go to a religious paradigm, scientific, whatever it is, there has to be a way that these things have to be ultimately okay. Because we see so much of them in the universe. There's got to be either ultimately it just doesn't matter, or whatever, all of those horrible things there. You logged that one. Perfect. Thank you, DD. Yeah, if you didn't fit, it wouldn't evolve. Jen says, brutal act that stems from weakness and not strength, in my opinion. Living like, well, I think you're right there. I actually do. It is it's the weakness, I suppose, of. Oh, it gets very, very complicated. But I'd agree around that. Yeah. Okay, I can't, Amanda. Sadly, we used to blame TikTok. We used to have an instant replay feature. Although, to be honest, if I had another bloody feature, I'd need more buttons, guys. Wrong time to grab something to drink. But if we already had a couple now, there will be more. So don't you worry. And it's hotter now than this afternoon. It's 20 degrees in your room. Yeah, my upstairs. Yeah, it holds the heat. It's ridiculous. Let's face it there. Any god looks at humans the way we look at animals in the zoo. I would imagine it'd be possibly along those lines. Oh, we don't do the politics in here, Fate. Was that town there? Didn't what's that? Millimeter. Oh, breaks down at 35 to 45 days. Don't buy it. Oh, not following on that one. And is that ice cream? Breaks down in. Yeah, I would actually say that, yeah, our understanding around a lot of that stuff is probably very, very, very wrong. It's 30 in my room. If being made in God's image is a human application, I don't know, I'd be worried if, maybe, but I mean, I think there's different ways to view it. I think we often, I think our interpretation, especially our modern interpretation of this, does a bit of a straw man of religion. Not that I'm necessarily advocating for it, but I'm always conscious of writing whole things off. Not that there aren't individual specific flaws. It's cool outside, every window's open, but the heat won't go out and the cool breeze won't come in. But yeah, I feel that. I had one of those portable air conditioning units in my bedroom, and I was overjoyed getting that. I thought it's going to be great, right? It only knocks about 3 degrees off, right? And I have it on until I come off stream. I've given up doing this now, but I was having it on until I come on the stream, sorry, because it's a bit too noisy. And then by the time I get off the stream, the bedroom is back up to heat. So it's not just getting out, you know, there's the stones, the loft, whatever it is, it's holding the heat and then reheating the room up. Because you knock it down and then turn it off, and in a couple of hours it's back up again. Ridiculous. Most people don't smoke, despite decades of stopping people from smoking, life expectancy has fallen. It's logical, Captain. Yeah, I think it's that we've overly simplified a lot of these things, and yeah, I don't think it's that straightforward. You know, I don't think there's that, you know, that with it, but they tell us kind of these things, you know, because, and not a lot of time it's conspiracy. It's just, you know, again, humans being humans. You know, we get a new toy and we think that is everything. Macy's running here. Red wine is breathing. I'll rub it in there, living light. Any fast movers? Oh, no. Should drop that. Not tonight. Not tonight. I got lovely shooting stars there. And use our 1.4. What camera? It's a Sony A7, I think, tonight. It's a good lens on it there. Lets in a lot of light. You was baking last night and now you're cold. What? I know, I'm still baking, but tomorrow it's starting to cool down apparently, so I will be complaining about that and my tooth at the same time there. Got the air in 18 here in Hampshire. You're only a county over, and that's still much cooler. There. Leroy, how are you doing? Is it coming through? 16 nations were all given a list of what the other nation is going to do, and led to believe that one other is going to betray and backstab at the other. They all playing out the characters. It sounds like a game theory test there. Berkshire. Are you Berkshire? I don't know why. I thought you were international. My mum smoked some cancer first, beat it, but lost to lung and brain. Jesus, there. That is awful. There to throw. I could go out on a limb and annoy a lot of people here, but I think the gist of it is, the gist of all of these things is, we don't deal with stress well in our society, especially with modern technology and things like that. And stress, think of it in a more mechanical sense. If a system is stressed, what does it do? It fractures, it breaks. So let's take off the human layer of the complexity of arguments and work, although, you know, it's stress. You know, just because we're not shouting and boiling over doesn't mean our bodies aren't running on extra. And I think certain people, depending on your genetics, it's gonna, the system's going to pop in some which way. And you can spend all your time trying to look at the specifics, but it's about getting your body to run, to minimize the stress, to run that sort of stuff. And, you know, life prevents that a lot of the time, but we also don't ever do anything in our society to deal with that. And if you do it for long enough, yeah, things are going to burn out and going to break. If you start to look at all of the what causes all these things, certain hormones aren't being produced. Why they're not being produced? Because that system's exhausted. You know, it's all of that sort of thing. They think they're going to live forever, yeah. Good evening, Joseph. How you doing there? Darren, 15 degrees finally. Oh, rubbing it in there. 19 in Plymouth. Again, that's close by. It's still ridiculous. I don't know what it is outside. It might be cooler outside. Probably is, but in here it's ridiculous there. Sober tonight. There. Walking home. No. Oh, dear. Daniel's Florida way. Lovely. Nice and warm where you are. About 30 in base. Jesus, Adam. Yeah, I think that's probably light here. Now, I see patterns, other don't. And who else? Got a government alarm warning. Yeah, we got that one. Yeah, Joseph, for essentially a hosepipe ban. They've not heard the boy that cried wolf. There we go. You got the ASCAP. You'll never know what I think. But there will be a quiz, and you need to know. Anyway, I'm going to come off now because I've stayed on again longer than I was expecting to. But it is a Friday night, so it's not too bad. But I'm going to go nurse my sore jaw, guys. So enjoy tomorrow. There and coming in even more roses there, Lethal. Appreciate that. We'll be back on tomorrow, I imagine, no doubt. There, so make sure you're following and subscribed. You can join us again for that one. I think we are expecting a few more clouds over the weekend, but it shouldn't be. It should still be Skywatches, guys. I appreciate that one, Lethal, as well there, and oh no, scenario as well. But thank you guys for that. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. But thank you again, guys, for joining us. You're all wonderful. Mods as well for being awesome too, and. Yeah, and sorry, I'm just so hot now. But yeah, we'll catch you all tomorrow night. Thank you for being wonderful, guys. Bye bye.